It's Thursday, February 5th. Today on Your Morning Atlantic. Sentenced for fraud. The former head of the IWK gets jail time. Your top news headlines just ahead.
And the big chill. We'll get all the details on Give to Live's next challenge happening on Halifax's Citadel Hill, the Big Chill Hill. This time we'll have those details at 7.
Plus, feeling the Love Gala, Hospice Halifax's annual event may be sold out, but we can still admire all the purses they have up for auction. Their executive director will join us in our second hour. Those stories and so much more just ahead on the Thursday edition of Your Morning Atlantic.
Well, hello, come on in. 6:01 on this Thursday, February 5th. So glad you can join us. Yeah, lots of great things to chat about on our show. So excited to share that the Feeling the Love Gala in support of Hospice Halifax is sold out.
Incredible.
That is amazing. Oh gosh, Hospice Halifax is doing such wonderful work in our region, helping people and families too. There's the individual who's nearing the end of their life, but the families too. Anyway, you can still support through the Hospice's program. Handbags for Hospice, which you actually got to check out the handbags.
Yes, I did. They didn't have much of the time, but what they had was pretty pristine condition, and really excited to see what else they have.
Well, they built on the collection, Latavia, and they're coming in, so you can put your bids on in a bit. And you're also a big handbag gal.
Oh, dangerous. Latavia's got richer taste than I do when it comes to like she's like next level. I'm like, you know, a couple levels down, but excited to see what they're bringing.
That's all coming up.
A bag is a bag.
Yeah. I thought the snow looked pretty this morning.
It did. We had a little bit of a snowfall total for parts of the region, but quite light in its activity. This morning, we are going to see a chance of some flurry activity yet again for parts of the region, clearing out for most into the afternoon. For Charlottetown, starting off the day at -4 yet again. So temperature is pretty cool for parts of Atlantic Canada. This is pretty typical for this time of year. We saw this yesterday's forecast as well. As of right now, -14 degrees in Fredericton, -7 in Halifax, -4 in Sydney, -70 degrees in Labrador City, and -7 into St. John's, Newfoundland. Here's a look at that wind chill. So going to feel a lot cooler for many areas across the region this morning, but will become a bit warmer into the afternoon. In terms of a risk of frostbite, we do still have one located in parts of Labrador. Here's a look at our satellite and radar. Much of yesterday's forecast kind of rinse and repeat into today. We do have a bit of sunshine in our forecast, also seeing flurry activity for parts of Atlantic Canada. In terms of the wind, going to remain quite light yet again today. As of right now, 15 kilometers per hour in North Cape, as well as Yarmouth, Lunenburg, and Canso, and no wind gusts to report at this time. We'll take a look at your long-range forecast just ahead, but first a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thank you so much, Latavia. And we begin with breaking news in Halifax this morning. Let's take a live look outside the Halifax Armoury. This is a live look in Halifax. Note from Halifax Police says fire and police are currently helping Halifax Fire and the Department of National Defence Fire Department responding to a structure fire at the Halifax Armoury, which is located on North Park Street in Halifax. That is near the Halifax Common. Kennard Street between North Park Street and Maynard Streets blocked to all traffic, and the northbound lanes of North Park Street between Nora Bernard Street and Kennard Street also blocked to traffic. Traffic within the roundabout at Agricola Street and Kennard, it's also being impacted. Police are asking people to avoid the area and use another route to avoid delays. No details on the extent of the fire itself. Again, this is at the Halifax Armoury, located on North Park Street in Halifax, which has been undergoing extensive renovations for years. This is a live shot. We will continue to follow this developing story throughout the morning. The woman who used to be in charge of the IWK's Children's Hospital is now behind bars.
We're of the view that something of this seriousness with this degree of breach of trust requires no sentence less than a period of incarceration in a provincial institution.
Was sentenced Wednesday to 9 months in jail for defrauding the IWK of more than $30,000 by using her corporate credit card to pay for personal expenses. The judge says Kitch's sentence should serve as a message to public officials that committing fraud will result in a jail cell door locking behind offenders. During a sentencing hearing earlier this month, Kitch admitted that she had failed to properly prioritize oversight of expense claims she filed with the IWK. Her conviction in September marked the second time she was convicted of defrauding the hospital, where she served as CEO between 2014 and 2017. Health officials in New Brunswick are advising the public about a confirmed case of hepatitis A at the Algonquin Resort in St. Andrews. An advisory says people who consumed food at Braxton's Restaurant and Bar or Right Whale Pub on January 21st, 22nd, 24th, and 25th should contact their local public health office to help assess their risk of exposure and the potential need for a vaccine. They're urging those exposed individuals who haven't had a Hep A shot to get one to limit the spread. PEI parents and unions say student needs are outpacing staffing in schools, and the cracks are showing in the classroom. They took their concerns straight to a high-profile political event in Charlottetown. CTV's Maria Saru has more.
Healthcare and education.
At PEI's final Progressive Conservative Leadership Forum last night, peering over the crowd were peacefully protesting parents and union leaders who say classrooms are under immense strain, with students needing support, not spin, and educators desperate for resources, not slogans.
Our education system is in crisis.
Jen Johnson's daughter has autism and type 1 diabetes. She's been approved for full-time educational assistant support, but Johnson says it's been spotty.
Even today, she didn't attend school because the EA coverage wasn't there. She's missing out on the quality education that she deserves to have.
Families say sometimes one teacher is managing up to 30 students, and not enough resource staff means long waits for assessments and support.
They're not getting the help that they need when they need it.
Union leaders add low pay and high workloads are fueling frustration, making it harder to recruit and retain staff.
From tip to tip, every school is complaining about shortages. There are often days where I'm hearing that subs are not available and shifts are going unfulfilled.
It can be really demoralizing for folks. I mean, these are not new issues.
Protesters want the Department of Education to correct funding formulas and staffing at the public schools branch. A spokesperson for the Department of Education says the province has hired nearly 600 full-time positions over the last 7 years, and while the student population has grown by more than 8%, staffing has increased by nearly 22%. Maria Saru, CTV News, Charlottetown.
Thank you, Maria. Finally, some positive reaction from maritime advocates to Ottawa's new plan to protect the endangered North Atlantic right whale. A strategy focused on fishing gear will begin here on the East Coast. It will see the use of on-demand or ropeless fishing gear that can be moved to and from the ocean floor using acoustic signals. Entanglement is often fatal to animals which spend summers in our waters.
More than 86% of right whales have been entangled at least once in their lifetime. Some have been entangled multiple times. I think this strategy is really putting Canada in the lead in how we are, protecting an endangered species, how we're working to also safeguard our seafood trade, protect our fisheries, and shows that we're taking this seriously.
The plan will also reopen previously closed fishing grounds for boats with the new gear. There are only about 380 of the whales remaining. And that is your first look at your local news headlines on this Thursday morning, and we'll continue to follow that developing news of that fire in Halifax as well.
Yeah, thanks, Amanda. Okay, let's talk about something kind of positive. This will bring back memories for you, Latavia. Very early memories for you. The Toronto Blue Jays are going to immortalize the greatest moment in franchise history. The team has announced plans to build a statue honoring the back-to-back World Series wins in 1992 and 1993 with a statue of Joe Carter's iconic home run. It will be unveiled on July 18th outside Rogers Centre, specifically between gates 5 and 6. So go stake out your spot. It's one of the numerous celebrations the Jays will hold this year for their 50th season. Very exciting. The good old days.
Great time to be a Jays fan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Tickets were super cheap back then as well.
Yeah, that's true.
The good old days.
Yeah, for real.
A hot dog was still cheap too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But they still have loony hot dog days.
Yeah.
But yeah, and also like a reminder that summer will be here at some point.
The boys of summer are waiting.
Yes.
Okay, still ahead this half hour. First look at your national news and international news headlines on this Thursday morning in Latavia. We'll have the latest look at the forecast. Enjoy the mild conditions we have before we have that cold front moving in, because it's going to be a cold, cold weekend. Things are nice and quiet. Some fresh snow too. Some people waking up to a fresh little dusting of snow, like in Antigonish this morning. Stay with us. The forecast is up next.
Welcome back. The time now is 6:13. We're taking a live look at Fredericton. A cold start to the day, currently minus 16 degrees in your area. We'll be seeing a bit of sunshine as the sun begins to rise before a chance of flurries returns. Weather is brought to you by ALC.ca. We are seeing a bit of cool temperatures yet again for parts of Atlantic Canada early this morning. Minus 18 degrees as you head outdoors in Labrador City, and minus 9 over in St. John's, Newfoundland. Minus 5 degrees starting off your day in Charlottetown, with minus 4 in Sydney and minus 7 in Halifax. Taking a look at our forecast timeline. So early this morning, pretty much the same as yesterday's forecast, seeing a bit of sunshine in the forecast. Also flurry activity tracking across parts of Atlantic Canada. Into the afternoon, we will be seeing much of the same, still holding on to that flurry activity as we enter into this evening. Still going to see flurries across parts of the region, but clearing out for parts as well. That takes us into early Friday morning. We're going to see sunshine in the forecast, colder temperatures moving back in with that polar air moving through our region. If you're wondering about snowfall totals, looking at around 1 to 5 centimeters for parts of all 3 maritime provinces, also seeing 1 to 5 centimeters across much of Newfoundland. Here's a look at our forecast today for New Brunswick. Starting off the day with a mix of sun and clouds, seeing a chance of some isolated flurries starting to move in early this afternoon. Daytime highs will range from minus 10 to minus 3 degrees. Prince Edward Island looking at highs between minus 4 to minus 3. Isolated flurries expected throughout your day. And for Cape Breton and eastern Nova Scotia, much of the same. Still looking at that chance of some isolated flurries throughout your day. Highs between minus 3 to minus 1. For the rest of Nova Scotia, flurries starting off your day will clear out into the afternoon, leaving mainly cloudy skies. Flurries return into the evening. Daytime highs between minus 3 to 0. For Newfoundland and Labrador, going to see some sunshine, but also flurry activity remains in Labrador City, a high of minus 14 degrees. Minus 1 into St. John's, Newfoundland, looking at a mix of sun and cloud. Increasing cloudiness into the afternoon. Flurries arrive into the evening. Friday's forecast, so into Thursday night, tonight, we're looking at colder temperatures moving in across the region. That will carry into Friday's forecast. We are going to see colder daytime highs, colder lows into the night, but lots of sunshine, not really helping to warm things up, though. And then into Saturday's forecast, a cloudier day ahead. We could see some flurries return for parts of the region. That's a look at your weather forecast. We'll throw things over to Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. The future of a young Canadian hockey player is on the line after court documents allege he was involved in a possible assault incident over the weekend. Saturday, 18-year-old forward Gavin McKenna was playing for Penn State in an outdoor game. Police say McKenna faces felony charges after allegedly assaulting a man, leaving him with a broken jaw. In a statement, the university said they're aware charges have been filed, but as this is an ongoing legal matter, they're not commenting further. McKenna was a star on Team Canada's World Junior team and is projected to go first overall in the coming 2026 NHL entry draft in June. Prime Minister Mark Carney sat down with opposition leader Pierre Poilievre to try and work together on issues like affordability. But that spirit of cooperation appears to have been slightly dampened by a Conservative MP's solo trip to Washington. CTV's Mike LeCouture tells us why.
Good to see you. This is not hope. This is not hope over here. Well, look at this.
The Conservative leader with a dig at his Liberal colleagues ahead of a meeting with the Prime Minister.
We have been working to fast track anything that we believe, however modest, might make life a little more affordable, a little safer, and our economy a little stronger. So it's he that is holding up the show.
According to readouts from both leaders' offices, Carney and Poilievre agreed they need to work quickly to pass policies that will make life more affordable for Canadians. The Conservative leader also offered his help in Canada-U.S. negotiations.
In fact, we need to work together.
Conservative MP Jamil Javani, meanwhile, is heading to Washington this week on a solo mission to improve trade relations between Canada and the U.S. He's a longtime friend of U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance.
I haven't talked to him in about a year about those issues. I would like to use that relationship for the good of the country, but I also don't want to interfere in what the Prime Minister's doing.
Javani was pushing for a meeting with the Prime Minister, but he did get one with the Minister in charge of Canada-U.S. trade.
Minister LeBlanc gave a briefing to Mr. Javani, who I don't believe is the trade critic for the opposition, certainly not the Minister of International Trade nor the Prime Minister.
But some members of Cabinet are casting doubt on whether Javani can or will help.
I really hope that he spoke about the closure of GM in his writing, because Ingersoll has been closed for now 4 months, and I haven't heard him once.
While a number of Conservatives are confident Javani can use his contacts to make a difference, Poilievre says he told his MP the most important thing is to fight for the jobs in his community.
CTV's Mike Lecouture reporting in Ottawa. A new travel warning for Canadians has been issued for Canadians traveling to Cuba. CTV's Adrian Gobriel tells us what it is and what tourists are saying about it.
A hotbed for Canadian tourists for its warm waters, sandy shores, and rich culture. And now a heightened travel advisory has been issued for Cuba. Posted today, this notice is urging Canadians to exercise a high degree of caution in Cuba due to worsening shortages of electricity, fuel, and basic necessities, including food, water, and medicine, adding that the situation is unpredictable and could deteriorate, disrupting flight availability on short notice.
All the power gets knocked out and the cell phone coverage gets knocked out.
To reduce pressure on the country's electrical network, Cuba has been scheduling lengthy daily power cuts, though Ottawa says unexpected nationwide outages may last more than 24 hours. Between April 2023 and March 2024, roughly 700,000 Canadians traveled to Cuba, making it the country's fifth most popular travel destination. Canadians on the island should heed this advice, according to one tourism management professor.
Take an actual paper copy of your passport, because if you run out of power, your phone may not work to show the picture of it. Bring along any extra medication. Once again, with your travel insurance, make sure what the cancellation policies actually are.
Cuba is largely a cash-only island. The American dollar and euro are widely accepted, though the advisory warns of petty theft and to avoid showing large amounts of cash in public.
For Canadians in Cuba or those with plans to still travel there, you're being advised to go online and sign up with registration for Canadians abroad. It may also be a good idea to keep the phone number for the embassy in Havana on hand.
CTV's Adrian Gobriel reporting in Toronto. Canadian snowboarding star Mark McMorris has suffered a serious setback just days before he was set to compete at the Olympic Games in Italy. The 32-year-old three-time Olympic bronze medalist was taken off the course on a stretcher while training for Thursday's qualifying run. No word on how badly he was injured. McMorris is no stranger to scares. In 2016, he broke a femur during a competition in LA. And a year later, he suffered life-threatening injuries after smashing into a tree in BC, resulting in a rod in his leg, as well as plates in his jaw and arm. Quick break here. When we return, we'll have your must-see moment from our colleagues at TSN and your top business headlines on this Thursday morning. Your Morning Atlantic. We'll be right back after this.
Move Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Weekday mornings on Move 100. The most fun in the morning. And home of the $1,000 minute. Only on Move 100 Halifax.
It is now 6:24. Thank you so much for joining us. It is that time when we check in with the friends at TSN Sports Center for today's must-see moment.
Welcome inside the SportsCenter newsroom. Jermaine Franklin with your must-see moment from Wednesday. For it, we are heading to Sunrise, Florida. Bruins visiting the Panthers first period. Michael Eyssimont gets sprung on a break. Nice reverse there by Eyssimont to get through and by Bobrovsky. Simply lovely. That is your must-see moment from Wednesday. Thursday on TSN, you can see NBA action when the Wizards take on the Pistons. Coverage starts at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. That's all from the SportsCenter newsroom. Have a great day.
This TSN must-see moment brought to you by J.R. Rahe's Furniture and Appliances.
And now it's time to head over to your business headlines from our colleagues over at BNN.
Toronto home sales fell 19% last month from January of 2024, and the average selling price is down as well. It's the first time the average selling price dropped to under $1 million since January of 2021. It's currently $973,000. And a home now spends an average of 45 days on the market. The Toronto Regional Real Estate Board says it expects the weakness to last through the first half of the year. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is down to 73.17. West Texas Intermediate is up almost $2 to 65.14. Western Canadian Select is up to 47.92. And the TSX gained 182 points today. Those are your business headlines. I'm Morella Fernandez.
All right, taking a look at our 3-day forecast for New Brunswick, a high of -6 degrees today. We do have a bit of sunshine, but also isolated flurries move in into the afternoon. On Friday, a high of -8, lots of sunshine across the province. On Saturday, looking at a high of -6 degrees, cloudy skies with evening flurries. For Nova Scotia, looking at isolated flurries today. Into the evening, we'll start to see flurries return, a little bit heavier than early in the day. On Friday, -5 degrees, mainly sunny skies. We are going to see isolated flurries return for parts of the province. And then on Saturday, -3 degrees, cloudy skies, evening flurries. Prince Edward Island looking at flurries today with a high of -3, -6 on Friday with lots of sunshine. Cloudy skies on Saturday with a high of -3.
Ooh, coming up this half hour, the Move Morning Chat. Today we want to know what's an activity that you've always wanted to try. We'll share ours just ahead on Your Morning Atlantic.
Hey, good morning. It is Thursday, February 5th. Already. Thank you so much for making us a part of your morning. That conversation coming up a little bit later, but you can send us a text anytime. 10400 is the number. We're the ones checking it. You can let us know about traffic, weather conditions, show us some photos of your animals because we love to see that too. That is the number, 10400, and that conversation coming up a little later.
Alrighty.
Alrighty, but the weather too. I feel like we really got to soak in our daytime highs today before it really gets cold this weekend.
Absolutely. Like even into today, our daytime highs are much cooler than yesterday.
Yeah.
It's some above the freezing mark. That is not the case today. We are going to see some sunshine though. It's still a relatively nice day to head out and explore your area if you want to do that a little bit later. Yeah, like Amanda said, temperatures are going to cool down. We are going to see that polar air move through.
Well, yesterday for a moment in the Halifax area, the sun was out and it was actually quite warm.
Right?
But, but it was a moment.
Exactly. Absolutely. All right. For Moncton today, currently at current temperature actually of -4 degrees. We are going to see cooler temperatures early this morning for parts of Atlantic Canada, but also going to see a bit of sunshine as the sun begins to rise over in Moncton. So as of right now, when we're looking across the board, it is -16 degrees. We'll take a look at that current graphic in just a second. -16 degrees starting off your day in Fredericton, and -5 over in Charlottetown with -7 in Halifax. -9 degrees over in St. John's, Newfoundland. And then factoring in that wind chill, still going to feel a lot cooler this morning for many areas across Atlantic Canada with a risk of frostbite for parts of Labrador. Here's a look at our satellite and radar. Pretty much the same as our forecast yesterday, but a bit cooler for our daytime highs. We are going to see a bit of sunshine and flurry activity as well, tracking across parts of the region. Here's a look at the current wind across the Maritimes. times as of right now, 19 kilometers per hour in Canso, 17 in Bathurst with 15 into North Cape as Lunenburg. One wind gust to notify you of getting up to 28 kilometers per hour in Bathurst. We'll take another look at your long-range forecast, but first, a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. And we begin with breaking news. Right now, emergency crews are responding to a fire at the historic Halifax Armoury. Here is a live look at the scene right now on North Park Street. As you can see, Halifax Police, Halifax Regional Fire, and the Department of National Defence Fire Department are on scene. Kennard Street between North Park Street and Maynard Street all blocked to traffic. Power in the area has also been turned off. No word this hour on the extent of the fire or if anyone was hurt, but there is a large presence of emergency vehicles outside the armory. The Halifax Armoury is classified as a federal heritage building, and it was built between 1895 and 1899, and over the past several years has seen some renovations. We'll continue to follow this developing story throughout the morning. The woman who used to be in charge of the IWK Children's Hospital is now behind bars.
We're of the view that something of this seriousness with this degree of breach of trust requires no sentence less than a period of incarceration in a provincial institution.
Tracy Kitch was sentenced Wednesday to 9 months in jail for defrauding the IWK of more than $30,000 by using her corporate credit card to pay for personal expenses. The judge says Kitch's sentence should serve as a message to public officials that committing fraud will result in a jail cell door locking behind offenders. During a sentencing hearing earlier this month, Kitch admitted that she had failed to properly prioritize oversight of expense claims she filed with the IWK. Her conviction in September marked the second time she was convicted of defrauding the hospital, where she served as CEO between 2014 and 2017. An anti-crime group in Moncton let city councillors have it the other night. It happened at council on Monday. Fed up with robberies, vandalism, and drug use downtown, members of the group Enough is Enough demanded more police officers on the street. Council insists it has no control on that, but RCMP say they're listening. However, the group may not like the response.
We do not have enough to do everything that residents, elected officials ask and expect of us. And to be more specific, we don't have enough members to patrol on every street.
We have to start having a look at how many boots are on the street. Not how many that are on paper, but how many. That's why I always ask for how many are fully operational.
Superintendent Ben Jolette insists there are enough officers to respond to emergencies and investigate crime, but notes property crime reports have actually been trending down. Nova Scotia's premier says he's reached an agreement that could see electricity from a proposed offshore wind project shipped to Massachusetts.
In fact, Nova Scotia only uses about 2 gigawatts of energy at peak demand, and in the Nova Scotia offshore, we can produce 40, 50, 60 gigawatts. It's remarkable. So we'll have a lot of excess energy.
Whatever actions may or may not be coming out of Washington, rest assured that here in Massachusetts, we're moving forward in any which way to bring more energy into this region.
Premier Tim Houston and Governor Maura Healey say they reached a memorandum of understanding committing the two governments to work together on developing their respective offshore wind sectors. Houston first floated his province's Wind West project over the summer, and the $60 billion first phase is estimated to produce 5 gigawatts of power by 2033. Finally, there's a buzz at Sydney's community college campus. The school and one in Spring Hill is training the next generation of power line technicians, a trade that's in high demand. Here is CTV's Ryan McDonald.
Having a life-changing idea is often referred to as having a light bulb go off in one's head. But for Nevaeh Sampson, hers was the moment she realized she wanted to help turn the lights back on for others.
I fished lobster with my dad, so one day we were on the step and I watched Brady Gerwart change a light on the power pole, and then I decided that's what I wanted to do.
The 18-year-old from Isle Madame is one of 30 students who just this week started in the new Power and Utility Line Work program here at the NSCC Sydney Waterfront campus.
The
program actually was out at the Marconi campus several years ago, probably 20 years ago.
Now, the one-year certificate program has been brought back to Cape Breton with a focus, the school says, on attracting students from the local area.
And from the students, I understand there was an overflow. People were trying to get into the course, so there's a waiting list, actually.
The pilot is a partnership with Nova Scotia Power. The utility says it's to address what they call urgent workforce needs.
The electric industry in general, there's an increase requirements and demand for power line technicians, and this is North America-wide.
The program's first students are set to graduate in the fall. Ryan McDonald, CTV News, Sydney.
Thank you, Ryan. Again, if you've got a young person in your life and you're like, what am I going to do? What jobs are in demand? There you go. There's another one.
Awesome. I always thought I might like to do that, but I've chosen this career instead. And that's why I'm going to share this story. Unique views of Alaska's North Slope are being provided by some unlikely photographers.
Oh, what the?
Yeah, this is, photographers would be grizzly bears. The bears have been outfitted with video collars in order to shoot footage for researchers.
Oh, it's the front.
This is bear cam. This is POV grizzly bear.
You thought it was a tail?
Yeah.
It was the tail.
Oh, yeah, that would be an interesting camera positioning. No, this is the front. Anyway, in this remote area of Alaska, where the territory is mostly inhabited by grizzly bears, it gives researchers a chance to get the information they need. Framing's a little off. Vicky from Control Room has a question. What's that, Control Room? Yes, she suggested maybe they make the interns put the cameras on. I don't know how they get the cameras on. That's a great question.
Well, I'm just glad they're on the front. I seriously thought that was, okay, it was a chin. All right, still ahead, we have your, perspective is everything. We have your entertainment headlines. But coming up next, it is the Move Morning Chat. Maybe that's something you've always wanted to do, put a camera on a grizzly bear. Who you never know. We don't judge. We listen and we don't judge. Today we want to know what's an activity you've always wanted to try. That conversation's next.
Beautiful sunrise over in St. John's. Welcome back. The time now is 6:42 on your Thursday morning, I should say. We are going to see currently temperature of -9. Before that, you see that sunshine there before increasing cloudiness into your afternoon. Over to current temperatures across the board, -16 degrees starting off your day in Fredericton, -5 over in Charlottetown, -7 degrees early this morning in Halifax, -4 in Sydney, -17 degrees over in Labrador City. So as you saw there, we are going to see a bit of sunshine for parts of Atlantic Canada early this morning, but we do also have some flurry activity tracking across parts of the region. Into the afternoon, we start to see that increase of some isolated flurries for parts of New Brunswick, Prince Edward Island, and parts of Nova Scotia, still holding on to that flurry activity. It's around a 30% chance of it happening. And for parts of Labrador, also going to see that flurry activity, and parts of Newfoundland. Into this evening, much of the same is expected, and that will really cool things down as well, when we have that polar air moving through our region. So pretty cold lows for tonight, for parts of the region at least. Taking us into early Friday morning, sunshine returns for the most part, but still some lingering flurry activity for parts of the region. If you're wondering about snowfall totals, looking at around 1 to 5 centimeters of accumulation for parts of all 3 maritime provinces. For Newfoundland, also going to see around 1 to 5 centimeters of accumulation. For Labrador, quite light in its activity. Over to our forecast today for New Brunswick. A mix of sun and clouds starts off your day, seeing isolated flurries into the afternoon. Daytime highs ranging from -10 and -3 degrees. Prince Edward Island also seeing a low chance of flurries throughout your day, highs between -4 to -3. And for Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, also going to see that chance of flurries throughout your day, highs between -3 to -1. For the rest of Nova Scotia, also going to see some cooler daytime highs between -3 to 0. Flurries starting off your day, clearing into the afternoon, leaving mainly cloudy skies. Over to Labrador City, a chance of flurries throughout your day as well, with a high of -14 degrees. -1 into St. John's, Newfoundland, looking at a mix of sun and clouds starting off the day, increasing cloudiness into the afternoon, flurries into the evening. Friday's forecast, although sunny, is going to be much colder for your daytime highs. We are going to see cooler air continue into the weekend, a cloudier day ahead for much of Atlantic Canada, and we are going to see a bit of flurry activity move back in early into the morning. That's a look at your weather forecast. We'll throw things over to the Move Morning Chat.
It's the Turks and Caicos edition of the Move Morning Chat. Aaron and Peter enjoying the beautiful sunshine down south. We're so happy for you too, but you're still working, still talking about the Move Morning Chat. And today we're talking about different activities that you would like to try. What's the story behind this one?
Oh, yes. Okay, so yeah, we're still here for Passport to Paradise, and it's Beaches Resorts. One of the best things about this resort is that there's so many activities that you can do throughout the day that are included. You can do things like snorkeling, you can go paddle boarding, kayaking. They've got tennis courts, and Peter's favorite, they have pickleball. He is dying for me to try pickleball. It's something I've never done before, but I think it might be something that I'll try while we're here at Beaches, and then we can play together back home in Halifax.
Something I would like to try, and you can learn to do this here at Beaches in Turks and Caicos, or you can learn to do it back home wherever you are as well. But I'd really like to learn how to scuba dive, and I really feel it down here as well, because it's like one of the greatest scuba diving locations in the world. They have the coral reef all around the islands, but beyond that, they have these what they call wall diving, because outside the coral reef, it suddenly drops down, in some cases, as much as 7,000 feet just outside the coral reef.
Pardon me?
They have cave diving as well, where you go through these tunnels that have been caused by the volcanoes over the years and go inside the cave into a huge amphitheater of a cave in the oceans here. So that's why I'm feeling it, I think, this week more than usual. But I still want to go scuba diving. I follow somebody back home called Saltwater Sean that's getting the greatest stuff from the places that he goes scuba diving. So yes, it's an activity that I definitely want to try.
We've had Saltwater Sean on the show so many times. He's wonderful, collects so many different things in the ocean, and that's the beauty about being here on the East Coast. We have lots of different coastline to explore, though you probably need a good wetsuit, Peter, if you're going to be doing that around the East Coast versus where you are right now. One activity I would like to get into more, I can do it and I enjoy it, but I actually don't have one, is a bike. I want to get into cycling outdoors more, especially the spring will be here before we know it. And the summer, I really enjoy it, but I just haven't made the effort to go ahead and buy a bike. I'm not sure what kind of bike I would need, like a trail bike. Do I want a road bike? I don't need anything fancy. I'm not joining a Peloton, but I would like to get my own bike because my husband and my kid have one, and I would like to do some outdoor cycling adventures with them.
Fun. You know the story about my bikes.
Yeah, she's got a bike. She's never used it.
Yeah, too want to use it. It's been like 5 years about this bike, and it's just so sad. Anyways, mine, though, would be like Peter, scuba diving. I love being in the water. I love swimming. I'd like to become a stronger swimmer. Yeah. Because I can't dive down. I can't push my way down and lower in the water. So I would like to be able to do that. Explore a little more under the sea.
Especially since it's in our own backyard. Exactly. Okay, Aaron, you're going to have to let us know how pickleball goes. Okay, because I want to see a competition between you two.
I'll update you, don't worry.
So we're throwing this question over to our viewers. We're asking, what is an activity you've always wanted to try, and maybe what's keeping you from trying it? Send us a text at 10400. We're going to share your answers a little later in the show.
The #1 morning show in Halifax. Turk, Megan, and Amateur Alex. And home to the biggest artists. Halifax's #1 hit music station. 101.3 Virgin Radio.
Welcome back. The time now is 6:52. We're going to head over to Hollywood and take a look at your entertainment headlines.
It'll be the most dramatic pre-rose ceremony ever. The Bachelorette before the first rose, airing on ABC and Hulu following the Oscars on March 15th. Will preview the new Bachelorette season launching on March 22nd. In the special, 18 former contestants reminisce and offer advice to the newest Bachelorette, Taylor Frankie Paul. Dust off your turntable. The lineup for this year's Record Store Day has been announced. You'll find exclusive vinyls from this year's Record Store Day ambassador Bruno Mars, plus Bruce Springsteen, Ariana Grande, Madonna, the Rolling Stones, and dozens more at an independent record store near you on April 18th. The ratings numbers are in, and the Grammys, which aired on CBS Sunday, saw a 6% fall off in viewership from last year. But the Grammys were still the most watched award show since the Oscars back in March of 2025. In 2027, the Grammys moved to ABC. And happy birthday to comedian, screenwriter, and director Christopher Guest, who turned 78 today. That's what's happening in Hollywood. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News.
And an exhibit honoring the historic community of Africville is actually now on display at IKEA in Dartmouth.
Yep, CTV's Vanessa Wright shows us as a special showcase of Africville's enduring strength and legacy.
The exhibit is called A Walk Through Africville. It offers a glimpse of what life was like in the once thriving community.
It was open homes, open doors. It was just a vast community of beautiness that from the people to the land, it was just a beautiful place to be.
Africville was home to many before it was bulldozed by the city in the 1960s in what they called an urban renewal. It displaced thousands of residents.
You know, the irony of a Walk Through Africville exhibit being in IKEA is just amazing because everybody comes here to IKEA to take things home that make their house more comfortable. And this story is all about a community that was here for over 150 years that did that too, and then was erased.
With no physical muse to go off of, the exhibit was purely created through memories and mementos, replicating Africville's commonly used spaces, from post offices to general stores.
What comes to mind is all the memories that we left behind in Africville.
It's still a fresh wound for Africville descendants like Beatrice Wilkins, who grapples with the loss and injustice.
Gathering like this brings back all the old memories of what we lost. And just to know that people are listening. My question is, where were they 40, 50 years ago? And I know we can't change time, but in this moment, it's all coming back.
It's hoped this exhibit will remind people of this part of Nova Scotian and Canadian history.
I want them to know the history, that it was just more than the ugly parts of it. There was a lot of beauty in this community, and I hope I can show that with this exhibit, that there was life. They lived there perfectly with no issues.
And though they were separated, proof remains their legacy will live on. Vanessa Wright, CTV News, Dartmouth.
Thank you, Vanessa. Happening now in local news, emergency crews are responding to a fire at the historic Halifax Armoury on North Park Street. A number of streets in the area are closed and power has been turned off. We'll bring you the latest live from the scene. Plus, Tracy Kitch, the former IWK Health Center CEO, has been sentenced to 9 months in jail for fraud. Plus, 10 years later, we'll check in with a Syrian family who has made Fredericton their home after being welcomed as refugees a decade ago. Those details coming up next in your local news headlines. But coming up now, the 3-day forecast with Latavia.
Thanks, Amanda. Starting off in New Brunswick, a daytime high of -6 degrees today. We do have sunshine starting off the day, seeing a chance of flurries return into the afternoon. On Friday, a high of -8 degrees, the mainly sunny skies. And on Saturday, cloudy skies with evening flurries. For Nova Scotia, we're looking at a high of -2 degrees today. Isolated flurries throughout the day, clearing for parts of the province into the afternoon, leaving mainly cloudy skies and evening flurries. On Friday, -5 degrees, mainly sunny skies, but also seeing flurries return. On Saturday, cloudy skies with evening flurries. Prince Edward Island looking at a high of -3 degrees today. We do have flurries across the island. -6 on Friday with a mix of sun and cloud. On Saturday, -3 degrees and cloudy skies expected.
It's Thursday, February 5th. Today on Your Morning Atlantic, a fire is being reported at the historic Halifax Armoury on North Park Street, closing some very busy streets early this morning. We'll have the latest from the scene just ahead.
And the big chill. We'll get all the details on Give to Live's challenge taking place on Citadel Hill. Bundle up and support a great cause. We'll give you the details later this half hour on Your Morning Atlantic.
Good morning, Atlantic Canada. Thank you so much for joining us. The time now is 7 o'clock. Snowshoeing is actually something I would like to try as well.
It's fun.
Yeah, it looks fun.
We got plenty of snow.
I actually, the very first time I really snowshoed with proper snow and all that was with Give to Live to talk about this one important fundraiser. Yeah, it was actually super fun and not as hard as you think.
Okay.
There's an appropriate amount of snow. Yeah, like even deep snow, like you don't sink in because you're on the snowshoes.
Yeah. There was one winter I wanted to try it, and one of our camera operators, Jim Quammen, he let me borrow his snowshoes for the winter, and I never got to use them because it was one of those very mild winters where we did not get enough snow, at least in the Halifax area, for me to be able to use them. But now is the time.
Yes, it's a snowshoer's paradise.
Exactly.
You got to get out there, Latavia.
So it's just been so packed over because of those last 3 storms we had.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We do have a bit of flurry activity for parts of the region early this morning. There's a look at Milford. But we are going to see a bit of sunshine as well for parts of the region. So flurry activity, very light in its activity today. A minus 16 degrees in Fredericton, minus 5 starting off your day in Charlottetown, minus 7 in Halifax, minus 4 degrees early this morning in Sydney, minus 9 into St. John's, Newfoundland. Here's a look at that wind chill early this morning. Still going to feel quite cold for many areas across the region. We do have a risk of frostbite for parts of Labrador as well. Here's a look at our satellite and radar. So as I had mentioned, a bit of sunshine in the forecast today. Also seeing a chance of some flurry activity as well. That will take us into the afternoon and into the evening. In terms of the current wind for the Maritime region, as of right now, 19 kilometers per hour in Canso, 17 in Bathurst, 15 into North Cape, Lunenburg, and Yarmouth. One wind gust to notify you of, getting up to 28 kilometers per hour right now in Bathurst. We'll take a look at your long-range forecast just ahead, but first a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thanks, Latavia. And we begin with developing news. Right now, emergency crews are responding to a fire at the historic Halifax Armoury. Here's a live look at the scene on North Park Street. At this time, you can see no visible flames or smoke. Halifax Police, Halifax Regional Fire and Emergency, and the Department of National Defence Fire Department are all on scene this hour. It is quite a large presence. Now, it's worth noting, too, Kennard Street between North Park Street and Maynard Street, that's blocked to all traffic. Power in the area has also been turned off. That's impacting 2,000 Nova Scotia Power customers in the North End and downtown. No word this hour on the extent of the fire or if anyone was hurt. The Halifax Armoury is classified as a federal heritage building. It was built between 1895 and 1899, and as you can tell, too, it's been undergoing significant renovations that started back in 2017. We'll continue to follow this developing story throughout the morning. The woman who used to be in charge of the IWK's Children's Hospital is now behind bars.
We're of the view that something of this seriousness with this degree of breach of trust requires no sentence less than a period of incarceration in a provincial institution.
Tracy Kitch was sentenced Wednesday to 9 months in jail for defrauding the IWK of more than $30,000 by using her corporate credit card to pay for personal expenses. The judge says Kitch's sentence should serve as a message to public officials that committing fraud will result in a jail cell door locking behind offenders. During a sentencing hearing earlier this month, Kitch admitted that she had failed to properly prioritize oversight of expense claims she filed with the IWK. Her conviction in September marked the second time she was convicted of defrauding the hospital, where she served as CEO between 2014 and 2017. Halifax police say they are still seeking help from the public to solve a 2023 shooting death in Dartmouth. Wednesday marked the 3rd anniversary of the homicide of Nathaniel Maurice Brown. The body of the 36-year-old was found outside a residence on Leahy Road. An autopsy later ruled the death a homicide. Police believe there are people who have information that could help solve the case. Health officials in New Brunswick are advising the public about a confirmed case of hepatitis A at the Algonquin Resort in St. Andrews. An advisory says people who consumed food at Braxton's Restaurant and Bar or Right Whale Pub on January 21st, 22nd, 24th, and 25th should contact their local public health office to help assess their risk of exposure and the potential need for a vaccine. They're also urging exposed individuals who haven't had a Hep A shot to get one to limit the spread. In an effort to encourage more carpooling, the Nova Scotia government is considering allowing vehicles with multiple passengers the option of using bus lanes.
The team is currently looking at how best to utilize HOV lanes here, whether they're strictly on the peninsula, whether they're on the highways.
HOV stands for high occupancy vehicle. The idea is to encourage carpooling by allowing the driver to access less crowded lanes on roads or highways. In addition to HOV lanes, Nova Scotia's Public Works Minister is also proposing a coordination of traffic lights to allow drivers to move freely through multiple intersections. The proposed changes are part of the Regional Transportation Plan. May seem hard to believe, but it's been a decade, 10 years ago, since dozens of maritime communities welcomed hundreds of Syrian refugees after civil war drove them from their home country. Data shows the majority have stayed, including one family that made Fredericton their home. CTV's Laura Brown has their story.
Suleiman Abazid recalls looking out of the airplane as they flew over New Brunswick. The land was blanketed in white. The next day, a snowstorm kept the family of 4 inside for 3 days.
I decided in my mind to come back to Jordan at that time because it's I have never seen like this weather before. But when the snow melted, it's like a heaven.
That was 10 years ago. Abazid's family came to Canada during the massive Syrian refugee resettlement movement. In 100 days between November 2015 and February 2016, the country welcomed over 26,000 Syrians. 1,600 landed in New Brunswick.
What we saw was a whole community approach and whole communities who wanted to be involved, to welcome individuals from Syria to Canada and really make sure that they felt at home.
According to Data NB, 74% of Syrians who arrived during that time were still here 5 years later. Laura Brown, CTV News, Fredericton.
Thank you, Laura. It is hard to believe it's been 10 years since Canada opened up its arms to so many Syrian refugees.
Yeah, no, I was really pleased that we were able to run that report this morning.
And that he was able to enjoy the snow.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, this is a big moment. I want to share something with you right now. So I'll start with getting into it with a story. A Canadian man will do almost anything for a taste of home. John Palmer of Collywood, BC, is originally from Windsor, Ontario. You know, I'm from around there, farm around there. He had his hometown's famous pizza from Antonino's sent to his current address in BC because he was in Windsor when he had it shipped. He provided his own cooler and got it out west at his own cost. They par-baked the pizza before cutting it in half lengthwise. They wrapped it up. Anyway, they ate the pizza. It turned out great. Why the heck would you do this, you might ask? Because Windsor pizza is the best pizza in the world, all right?
Oh, it's a challenge.
No, I'm telling you it is. When I go down to Windsor, this is on Howard Avenue in Windsor, you know, nonchalant place. I've never had Antonino's pizza.
Okay.
Maybe it's the best. I would prefer maybe Capri, Sarducci's. I found a picture of a Sarducci's pizza that was on the Sarducci's website, customer submitted. So you can't really see well, but the reason it's so delicious is what they do in Windsor is they shred the pepperoni up into little tiny strips and they spread it all over the pizza. And for some reason, it makes the pizza really crispy and extra flavorful. If you don't, and the crust is also really good. And there are a lot of people in Windsor who've immigrated from Italy. So, but it's a big, anyway, Windsor pizza is by far the best. I cannot explain it to you. So what I'm going to do is when I go down to Windsor in May, I'm going to bring back a pizza, like they said, and I'm going to crisp it up in the oven, and you'll try it.
Yes, please.
Okay.
All right, we're going to challenge you.
Oh, we got to go to Windsor and get that pizza.
I don't discriminate when it comes to pizza.
You've got Cape Breton's really well known for its pizza. You got New Glasgow.
There's a place on the waterfront that we did an interview back in 2025.
Yes.
And it was incredible. This Italian gentleman, fresh pizza.
Well, I think too. I think there's also pizza, and there's pizza. Like the Windsor style is a certain style of pizza.
Of course, I'm sure everyone has a different style.
But I'm not saying it's the best pizza in the world necessarily. You know, I've been to Naples. It's pretty dang good there. But it's a special kind of pizza.
And listen, we got pizza coming up later too.
Really?
In the show.
I forgot.
Greco's here.
No, okay, that's also good pizza, but different. Right? Okay, I'm very excited. Oh, yeah.
Happy day.
Yeah, we're winning here on the show.
Yeah.
Okay, and we're going to take a break right now. Okay, get our bellies ready, too. Latavia has the latest look at the full forecast. We'll be right back. Speaking of the Halifax waterfront, the sun is just starting to rise. Beautiful conditions. We'll be right back.
Good morning, Atlantic Canada, and welcome back. The time now is 7:13. We're taking a live look at Bedeck. -1 starting off your day. A bit of sunshine behind those clouds. We are going to see isolated flurries expected throughout your day. Weather is brought to you by ALC.ca. It's a bit cool for parts of the region. As of right now, minus 14 degrees as you head outdoors in Fredericton, minus 6 over in Charlottetown and in Halifax, minus 4 starting off your day in Sydney, minus 9 into St. John's, Newfoundland. Over to our forecast timeline. So we are going to see some sunshine in the forecast early this morning as the sun begins to rise, but also seeing a bit of a cloudier day ahead for parts of the region and some flurry activity tracking across Atlantic Canada. That's going to continue into the afternoon and into the evening. Taking us into tonight, it's going to remain quite cold as we see those temperatures cool back down. We do have polar air that's making its way through our region, so it's helping to cool things down into Friday's forecast and into the weekend. We do see sunshine in the forecast for Friday, and a chance of flurries for parts of the region remains. If you're wondering about snowfall totals, at around 1 to 5 centimeters for all 3 maritime provinces. For Labrador, quite light in its activity, and 1 to 5 centimeters as well for parts of Newfoundland. Here's a look at our forecast today for New Brunswick. Starting off the day with sunshine, isolated flurries return into the afternoon. Highs expected between minus 9 to minus 3. Prince Edward Island going to see isolated flurries throughout the day today. Highs between minus 5 to minus 3 degrees and pretty light wind across the island. For Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, also seeing a low chance of some flurry activity throughout the day. Highs between minus 3 to minus 1. For the rest of Nova Scotia, going to see flurries starting off the day, then transitioning over to mainly cloudy skies into the afternoon. Highs between minus 3 to plus 1. For Labrador City, a chance of flurries throughout your day as well, with a high of minus 14 degrees, minus 1 into St. John's, Newfoundland. Starting off with sunshine, then increasing cloudiness and seeing flurries arrive into the evening. Friday's forecast, lots of sunshine across parts of Atlantic Canada. Not helping to warm things up, though. It's going to be cooler for Friday's forecast. And then into the Saturday, early in the morning of Saturday, increasing cloudiness, so pretty cloudy day ahead. We will be seeing a chance of some flurry activity as well for parts of the region. So that's a look at your weather forecast. We'll throw things over to Amanda.
Thanks, Latavia. The future of a young Canadian hockey player is on the line after court documents allege he was involved in a possible assault incident over the weekend in the U.S. On Saturday, 18-year-old forward Gavin McKenna was playing for Penn State in an outdoor game. Police say McKenna faces felony charges after allegedly assaulting a man, leaving him with a broken jaw. In a statement, the university said they're aware charges have been filed, but as this is an ongoing legal matter, they're not commenting further. McKenna was a star on Team Canada's World Junior team and is projected to go first overall in the coming 2026 NHL entry draft in June. Canadian snowboarding star Mark McMorris has suffered a serious setback just days before he was set to compete at the Olympic Games in Italy. The 32-year-old three-time Olympic bronze medalist was taken off the course on a stretcher while training for Thursday's qualifying run. No word on how badly he was injured. McMorris is no stranger to scares. In 2016, he broke a femur during a competition in LA. And a year later, he suffered life-threatening injuries after smashing into a tree in BC, resulting in a rod in his leg, as well as plates in his jaw and arm. In Ottawa, Prime Minister Mark Carney sat down with opposition leader Pierre Poilievre to try and work together on issues like affordability. But that spirit of cooperation appears to have been slightly dampened by a Conservative MP's solo trip to Washington. CTV's Mike Lacouture tells us why.
Good to see you. This is not hope. This is not hope over here. Well, look at this.
The Conservative leader with a dig at his Liberal colleagues ahead of a meeting with the Prime Minister.
We have been working to fast track anything that we believe, however modest, might make life a little more affordable, a little safer, and our economy a little stronger. So it's he that is holding up the show.
According to readouts from both leaders' offices, Carney and Poilievre agreed they need to work quickly to pass policies that will make life more affordable for Canadians. The Conservative leader also offered his help in Canada-U.S. negotiations.
In fact, we need to work together.
Conservative MP Jamil Javani, meanwhile, is heading to Washington this week on a solo mission to improve trade relations between Canada and the U.S. He's a longtime friend of U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance.
I haven't talked to him in about a year about those issues. I would like to use that relationship for the good of the country, but I also don't want to interfere in what the Prime Minister's doing.
Javani was pushing for a meeting with the Prime Minister, but he did get one with the Minister in charge of Canada-U.S. trade.
Minister LeBlanc gave a briefing to Mr. Javani, who I don't believe is the trade critic for the opposition, certainly not the Minister of International Trade, nor the Prime Minister.
But some members of Cabinet are casting doubt on whether Javani can or will help.
I really hope that he spoke
about the closure of GM in his riding, because Ingersoll has been closed for now 4 months, and I haven't heard him once.
While a number of Conservatives are confident Giovanni can use his contacts to make a difference, Poilievre says he told his MP the most important thing is to fight for the jobs in his community.
CTV's Mike Lagator reporting in Ottawa. A quick break here on Your Morning Atlantic. When we return, we'll go outside and get details on the big chill and the causes it supports. That's coming up next.
Move Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Weekday mornings on Move 100. The most fun in the morning. And home of the $1,000 minute. Only on Move 100 Halifax.
Have you ever wanted to try snowshoeing? Well, we have the perfect opportunity for you because the Big Chill is coming to our area, and talking about it today is Megan, Sadie, and Carly. Ladies, thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks for having us.
Okay, so first and foremost, Megan, what is the Big Chill?
Well, the Big Chill is a snowshoe marathon consisting of 5 different distances, 5 kilometers, 15, and 30. And individuals come together and choose one of those distances to raise funds for youth at risk in the Annapolis Valley.
That is so awesome. Is this an event for anybody, snowshoe experience or not?
Yeah, anyone can participate. The 5K is a great distance for someone who maybe isn't a super comfortable snowshoer. We have youth doing it, and we have all the way up in the age category. So anyone can do it, and it's just a great day to come together and celebrate each other and the good work that the funds raised through this event do for youth at risk in Annapolis Valley.
All right, Sadie, so is this your first year participating?
Yes, this is my first year participating in the Big Chill. I'm raising $300 for youth at risk. I've worked the Big Chill the past 3 years, and this year I decided to finally participate.
I love it. What are you excited for?
Probably the 5K, like the snowshoe hike, and raising money for youth at risk.
Amazing. Carly, what about you? Have you done this before?
I've done it as a female snowshoe challenge, but typically for the actual Big Chill, I just work it.
Hey, so are you working it again this year?
Absolutely.
Why is something like this so important to you?
Oh, just because it goes to help youth. Like, it helps us, it helps everyone. Like, it does such great stuff for us. It helps us get scholarships and stuff that we never would have imagined we could ever do.
Dental care, it does help with dental care. It helps with housing and groceries and all that stuff.
This is such an amazing initiative. Megan, how many years has this been going on now?
This will be our 11th year. Yeah, and I think we kind of tried to estimate we've raised probably over $200,000, I think, something like that. So it's a pretty special event, and just the vibe of the day and the celebration and the youth work the stations, and we have great partnerships with Search and Rescue and some of our sponsors, and then everyone comes together, and it's a special day that you just won't forget.
Amazing. Okay, so for people who have never been before, obviously a very special occasion, but give me your favorite portion of the day. I'm going to go down the line, okay? So I'll give you guys a second to think about it. We're going to go with Megan first. Put her under the fire.
I think just all these different people coming together for a common cause and challenging yourself to something that can be quite challenging. The 30K is a big challenge, but when you're done, you feel so good. And all along the course, you have youth and volunteers cheering you on and picking you up. It's just so special. So
amazing. All right, Sadie, you're up.
My favorite part of the day is definitely the end, because you can listen. There's going to be people coming down, and they're all cheerful, and they're like, oh my gosh, I did it. And you feel like you accomplished something very, very great.
I love it. I love it. All right, Carly.
Okay, my favorite part is actually working the stations, having so many people exhausted, tired doing the 30K, and they're running by you and they're grinning ear to ear because they know they're doing something for such a great cause.
I mean, it sounds like such a good day. Where can people get tickets? How can people participate?
Well, you can go to www.givetolive.ca/chill, and you can register there, get more information, reach out and send an email if you have questions, and yeah.
We'll have all of that linked to our website. Can't wait to see you all on the big day. And I fall in snowshoes, so it should be fun for a lot of people, I think. Thank you so much, ladies.
All All right, taking a look at our 3-day forecast, a high of -6 degrees, starting off the day with sunshine, seeing flurries into the afternoon. Lots of sunshine on Friday, cooling down to -8 for your daytime high. And then on Saturday, -6 degrees, cloudy skies, evening flurries. For Nova Scotia, looking at a high of -2, we do have flurry activity throughout the day today. -5 for Friday, looking at a bit of sunshine, but also isolated flurries. Cloudy skies on Saturday with evening flurries. Prince Edward Island looking at a high of -3. You too will see flurries across the island. Sunshine on Friday with a high of -6, and cloudy skies expected on Saturday, -3 degrees.
Coming up in this half hour, we're feeling the love. The annual Hospice Halifax Gala. It may be sold out, but they will join us to showcase some of the beautiful purses in their handbags for hospice auction. We'll try not to grab them before you do. That's just ahead here on Your Morning Atlantic.
Join us halfway through the show already on this Thursday, February 5th already.
Wow.
It's time to start to make those Valentine's plans. Galentine's plans. Valentine's plans. Whatever you want to do.
Self-love plans. Whatever you got going on.
Yes. Hospice for Halifax is rather handbags for hospice is going to be wonderful. We've got the handbags being set up right now. Sadly, for those who didn't get tickets, the tickets are sold out for the gala.
Yes.
Which is great news.
This is one of the most important parts, too, of the night.
Yes.
The big auction.
The big auction, and you can get involved in that, which is great. The event is super fun. I've gone for the last several years.
You love it.
Time of my life. Love it, love it, love it. It's word is spreading, and it's just... next year, get your tickets earlier. That's
exactly.
Yeah. But as far as feeling the love around here, a lot of people enjoying the milder conditions.
Absolutely. We're going to see that into the weekend. Cold, cooling back down. Yeah, that's what I was trying to get at.
Yeah. Warm now, cold later.
Exactly. We will be seeing polar air move through our region starting on Friday, but even for tonight, you start to see some of those temperatures really cool off, especially across parts of New Brunswick and obviously in Labrador and parts of Newfoundland.
Well, great news for the ski hills.
Exactly. This is a live look at Brookville. You can see a very cloudy start to the day. We are expecting a chance of some isolated flurries, so very low spotty activity, though. Currently -5 degrees in your area, so we are seeing a cooler day ahead, starting off this morning, but a bit warmer for parts of the region at least. Right now, -14 degrees in Fredericton, -6 in both Halifax and Charlottetown, -4 in Sydney, -23 degrees over in Cartwright, -13 into St. Anthony. And then factor in that wind chill, going to feel a lot cooler early this morning for many parts of the region. There is a risk of frostbite for parts of Labrador. So looking at our satellite and radar, we are going to see sunshine for parts of the region as well early in the morning, increasing cloudiness for some with some flurry activity as well. In terms of the wind, it is quite light for the day, a bit breezier than parts of the region we saw yesterday. As of right now, 28 kilometers per hour in Canso, 20 into Yarmouth, 17 kilometers per hour in Moncton and Bathurst. One wind gust to notify you of, getting up to 28 kilometers per hour in Bathurst. We'll take a look at your long-range forecast just ahead. First, a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. And we continue to follow developing news this hour. Emergency crews are responding to a fire at the historic Halifax Armoury. Here is a live look at the scene on North Park Street. Now, at this time, no flames or smoke are visible, but the sun is up. Halifax Police, Halifax Regional Fire, and the Department of National Defence Fire Department all on scene. You can also see that this is impacting traffic. Kennard Street between North Park Street and Maynard Street, it's all blocked to traffic. Behind our camera operator there is the Halifax Common, if you're unfamiliar with the area. To the left is the roundabout. Power in the area, it's also been turned off, and this is impacting about 2,000 Nova Scotia Power customers in the North End and downtown Halifax. Now, there's no word this hour on the extent of the fire or if anyone was hurt. CTV News has reached out to the Department of National Defence for more details. You can see, too, the Halifax Armoury. It's a federal heritage building. It was built in the 1800s, and it has been undergoing significant renovations since 2017. Halifax Police there on scene directing traffic. We will continue to follow this developing story throughout the morning. Now, on the other side of the harbor, police are responding to a single vehicle crash in Burnside in Dartmouth. Police say a vehicle hit and broke a power pole on the 600 block of Windmill Road. There's no word if anyone was hurt. We do know electrical wires are blocking inbound traffic on Windmill Road between Wright Avenue and Dundee Lane, and police say to expect these traffic restrictions for several hours. The woman who used to be in charge of the IWK Children's Hospital is now behind bars.
We're of the view that something of this seriousness with this degree of breach of trust requires no sentence less than a period of incarceration in a provincial institution.
Tracy Kitch was sentenced Wednesday to 9 months in jail for defrauding the IWK of more than $30,000 by using her corporate credit card to pay for personal expenses. The judge says Kitch's sentence should serve as a message to public officials that committing fraud will result in a jail cell door locking behind offenders. During a sentencing hearing earlier this month, Kitch admitted that she had failed to properly prioritize oversight of expense claims she filed with the IWK. Her conviction in September marked the second time she was convicted of defrauding the hospital, where she served as CEO between 2014 and 2017. It may be winter, but they are preparing for drought in St. John. City water supplies and private wells suffered last summer, so work is underway to bolster water sources for what could be another hot year. CTV's Nick Moore has the details.
This bridge on Highway 111 near the St. John Airport crosses the channel linking First Lake with Robertson Lake, the drinking water supply for much of St. John. Water is flowing easily through the channel today, but there was real concern back in the fall that the water had plummeted to such a low level that the lakes would become cut off following a summer of drought conditions.
And that channel is shallower than Robertson Lake itself, so that creates a pinch point or bottleneck.
Work will pick up in February to dredge a section of the channel. A new gravel pad has also been built nearby, with the expectation that drought conditions will become more common and more severe in the years to come.
We're just trying to position ourselves so that we have a backup plan that's, readily available to us.
While the water level here has gone up and there's plenty of snow cover now, well drillers say it will take more to recover from last summer's drought.
One well driller in the Acadia Peninsula, he still had 30 wells to drill. And he's been drilling all summer. If a household doesn't have any water, not much that can be done, besides drilling a new well.
And demand is not expected to go away. A report from Environment and Climate Change Canada says the year ahead will likely be one of the hottest on record, comparable to 2025. Nick Moore, CTV News, St. John.
Thank you, Nick. And of course, we have had a lot of snow lately, so it's very easy to take it for granted. But for some people, seeing their first snow is a joyful dream come true. Like, for example, this lady.
It's so, oh my God, it's so pretty. I'm like shaking.
Nice. The caption says this woman had never seen snow before and she was overcome with joy to experience it. I know, going barefoot.
Obviously, she's never experienced it before. Taking the shoes off, socks off. Oh, wow. That's really pretty. For her first snow, she got some good stuff.
Oh, the nice fluffy stuff.
Yeah, apparently she's from Florida, so.
Wow.
Well, we get to a little exchange. We got to experience her weather, and she gets to experience ours.
I literally have chills going down my body. I'm like, ugh. It's so cold to stand barefoot.
Oh my gosh.
Brave.
There you go. It's perspective. It's all about, here's perspective. It's a gift.
It is. It really is.
It's a gift. All right, we want to remind you about our Move Morning Chat. Yeah, maybe an activity you'd like to try is taking your shoes off and going outside in the snow. But what we are actually asking is what activity you've always wanted to try. Let us know at 10-400.
I did do that New Year's Day. We had Stephanie Seacos with us on New Year's Eve, and she said that's a
Yes.
tradition with her. You missed it. She said that's a tradition for her family, and they go out on New Year's Day or just after midnight, and they all take off their shoes and go barefoot in the snow.
And see how far they can go, yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
That's not something I've wanted to try, but I'd be willing to
And
give
you
it a
tried
go.
it?
Yeah, we did do it. I don't think you even told her. Yeah, we did it. It was really fun.
Well, if the snow was soft and fluffy like that, it wouldn't be too bad for a bit, and then all of a sudden, you know? Yeah, oh, okay, we have time for the sled dog. Okay, a $700 camera became a very expensive chew toy for a sneaky sled dog recently.
Oh, no.
So when a group, this is the cam view, much like the bear thing. Okay, look at the mouth, he's chewing it. He's chewing it. The camera went missing during a shoot in the Arctic Circle for the Associated Press crew. Eventually, they found the camera among the sled dogs, but the dog hit record before he started chewing it, so they got this interesting perspective. Oh my gosh.
That dog.
There we go.
Oh, you sneaky bugger.
Yeah, so eventually they got the camera back and they were able to repair it. But they got this unique footage. Not this unique footage, this unique footage. Yeah, there we go.
That's adorable.
Up close and personal, right with the muzzle. Oh my gosh.
You sneaky thing. Dogs. All right, still ahead. Latavia will have more details on our daily highs in the Thursday forecast and just how low it's going to get later tonight. Also, too, handbags for hospice. We'll chat with the executive director of Hospice Halifax and admire some of the beautiful bags you could bid on. It's all for a good cause. Add another to the collection. That's coming up.
Happy Thursday, led to Canada. The time now is 7:44. We're taking a live look at Lockport. As you can see, a bit of sunshine and a bit of cloud coverage as well. We do have a chance of some isolated flurries headed your way. It's quite low and spotty in its activity, though. As of right now, it is cool across parts of the region, and factoring that wind chill, feeling even colder. As of right now, it is minus 14 degrees in Fredericton and minus 5 starting off your day in Charlottetown. Minus 6 early this morning in Halifax, minus 3 degrees in Sydney, minus 16 over in Happy Valley Goose Bay, and minus 5 degrees in Corner Brook. Taking a look at our forecast timeline, we do have sunshine early this morning as the sun has begun to rise. We will also be seeing some flurry activity across parts of Atlantic Canada. That will continue into the afternoon. Our daytime highs starting to cool back down, and then into the overnight hours, really cooling down for parts of the region. And we are going to see polar air start to move through our region yet again, cooling things down into Friday's forecast and into the weekend. But sunshine returns on Friday, but so does flurry activity. If you're wondering about snowfall totals, looking at around 1 to 5 centimeters for all 3 maritime provinces, 1 to 5 centimeters of additional snowfall as well for parts of Newfoundland. Over to our forecast today for New Brunswick, starting off the day with sunshine, seeing isolated flurries return into the afternoon. Daytime highs will range from minus 9 to minus 3 degrees. Prince Edward Island looking at highs between minus 5 to minus 3. Isolated flurries expected throughout your day today. Then for Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, chance of flurries quite low and spotty in this activity as well. Daytime highs between minus 3 to minus 1. For the rest of Nova Scotia, looking at flurries starting off the day as well, clearing, leaving mainly cloudy skies into the afternoon. Highs will range from minus 3 to plus 1. For Labrador City, a chance of flurries expected throughout your day today with a high of minus 14 degrees. Minus 1 into St. John's, Newfoundland. Starting off the day with sunshine, increasing cloudiness into the afternoon. Flurries arrive into the evening. Friday's forecast, as you can see, we have some sunshine in the forecast, not really helping to warm things up, though, unfortunately. We will also see a bit of flurry activity into Saturday's forecast. A pretty cloudy day ahead, but we do have some sunshine for parts of Labrador and into parts of Newfoundland. So that's a look at your weather forecast. We'll throw things over to Crystal.
All right, thanks so much. It's 7:46. Now, great news about the upcoming Feeling the Love Gala on February 14th at the Halifax Convention Centre. The event is sold out. Now, I can speak from experience to say it's a wonderful night in support of a beautiful cause, and you can still support this important fundraiser by taking part in the online Handbags for Hospice auction. Here to tell us more is Jocelyn Hamilton, and Executive Director of Hospice Halifax. Thank you so much for coming in.
Yeah, thank you for having me today.
So let's talk about the Feeling the Love Gala. It is an important fundraiser. Congrats on selling it out.
Thank you.
I'm really excited to let people know at home that they can participate too, but with the hospice, for the Handbags for Hospice fundraiser.
Yeah, so these handbags will be on display the night of our event, but they will go live online February 7th.
Okay.
And everyone can participate in the online auction, and that goes until the night of February 14th at 10 p.m.
Perfect. Where does the money raised this year go?
Yeah, so the money all goes to Hospice Halifax, and one of the big pieces we're fundraising for are cuddle beds. So they are a not your average hospital bed, and they're a bed that expands so that people can snuggle in them together.
Okay, and this is so important because with the work you do, because it allows family members to get close to their loved one.
Exactly.
Which makes all the difference.
Yeah, a lot of time people are coming to us, they're leaving their home for the last time, and they have spent their lives snuggled up with their loved ones, and we like to try to continue that care and that those moments for them.
Well, the work that you do at Halifax Hospice is so important, and these handbag fundraisers, it's such a clever way to raise money because these handbags have been donated to the organization, so you're keeping them out of the landfill.
Exactly, yeah. We have our wonderful secondhand store, Encore, which is located near your studio here, and these handbags get donated all year, and we pick the best and brightest of them to be showcased in our auction.
Do you want to showcase a couple right now?
Yeah, so we have a beautiful Coach bag, we've got a bright Kate Spade for these cold winter days, Valentino, Michael Kors, and then this beautiful piece is actually a handmade leather bag by Ann Mason. Yeah.
Oh, it's gorgeous. I'm going to do my best prices right. The hand movements. I love this. This is just, they're beautiful. Is this the Valentino?
Yes.
Wow, especially valuable now. Look at that. Look at the clasp. They're in such great shape. Oh my gosh. This is just a beautiful piece. This is a really popular fundraiser. So what's your advice for people at home for making sure they get their bids in?
Yeah, so you can go online February 7th. As I said, when it goes live, you can sign up. So get yourself registered and then keep an eye on your favorite bags.
This is the tip of the iceberg. There are lots and lots of bags online, and you can scroll through it. If you're lucky enough to go to the event, you can actually handle the bags. If people wanted to donate handbags or items of value or money to hospice, how do they do that?
So you can always go to our website, hospicehalifax.ca, or you can visit our store. As I mentioned, Encore, it's nearby, and they will accept your donation of gently used, high-quality items.
Wonderful. All right, we've only got about 30 seconds left, Jocelyn, but is there anything you wanted to share with our viewers before we go about Hospice Halifax?
I'd just say if you'd like to learn more, again, go to our website, hospicehalifax.ca. You can see the handbags auction on there. You can check out photos from Feeling the Love last year, and we'll post new photos this year. So next year, get your tickets nice and early.
Exactly. It's such a fun event. Yeah, and congratulations on everything this year. It's a wonderful event. Okay, and Hospice Halifax, yes, we have the details about the auction and the organization on our website. Now we're going to throw our attention over to Amanda. This is Speaking Your Language, Amanda.
I know, and that's a problem. Latavia and I have been shopping with our eyes there. Thank you, ladies, so much. What a great cause. Health and medical news now. Men develop a greater risk of cardiovascular disease years earlier than women, starting at around age 35. That's according to a new long-term study. It's one of the topics in Your Health. The report, published in the Journal of the American Heart Association, followed more than 5,000 adults from young adulthood and found that men reached clinically significant levels of cardiovascular disease about 7 years earlier than women. Researchers say that participants entered the study well before the onset of most cardiovascular risk, so researchers were able to precisely measure when disease emerged, a major advantage for studies that enroll patients later in life. Experts advise both men and women to monitor their heart health in early adulthood and to see their doctor regularly. Finally, a new study suggests that babies are able to distinguish between the different objects they see around them at 2 months old, which is earlier than scientists previously thought.
Infants know a lot more than we thought that they did, and their brains are processing the world around them in hugely complex ways. They're not just lying there passively, waiting until they can move around themselves and speak. There's a lot of complex cognitive development happening within the first year of life, and now with this type of method, we can really start to measure that.
The findings may help doctors and researchers better understand cognitive development in infancy. The study looked at data from 130 2-month-olds who underwent functional brain imaging while awake. The babies viewed images from 12 categories commonly seen in the first year of life, such as trees and animals. Results were published in Nature Neuroscience.
All right, let's take a look at our milestones. Happy anniversary to Valmond and Claudette Levine of Lorne, New Brunswick. 60 years.
Congratulations, you two. In their home, celebrating a wonderful anniversary. To see your milestone again or find out how to submit one, visit our website by scanning the QR code on your screen. And a reminder, milestones must be received 2 weeks in advance.
All right, so a brave photographer south of the border is trying to help perfect strangers and find friendship, perhaps even love.
Yes, she's taking photos of strangers and getting their reactions when they meet after they've been blindfolded. Reporter Jody Kurzman got to watch the experience unfold in real time.
You guys are gonna hold hands.
This is the first time
There we go.
Brianna Hauk
It's all good.
and Evan Izzy have met.
Yeah.
Photos capture the unforgettable moment. They both signed up for one of Brooklyn Earhart's stranger sessions.
They fill out this form and I take what everybody explains about themselves and what they look for in another person, kind of match them up that way. Act like you've known each other for more than 5 minutes.
Both Evan and Brianna admit they were a little nervous
Perfect.
to take the blindfolds off.
I didn't know what they looked like. I didn't know what was going to happen or what I was walking into, really.
Yeah, just a touch nervous, but it's a fun experience. It's pretty cool.
Oh.
Brooklyn says she's got some butterflies too.
Perfect.
This is her first time playing Cupid.
Perfect. This is all new for me.
For Brooklyn, it challenges her photography skills and it helps her meet new people.
Just the smiles, the fun that comes out of it. I mean, you know, whether or not you go on a date afterwards, or maybe this is just a new friend. I mean, it's so fun to interact with people. Right, and then both look at me.
Brooklyn has photographed 5 couples so far. 3 of those 5 have gone on dates after their stranger session. Brooklyn says she doesn't have any expectations, but she says she is invested in every couple's story.
This does turn into something, you know, I'm here for engagement photos or wedding photos or whatever.
That's a love story, Brooklyn says, would be nothing short of picture perfect.
Oh my gosh, what a fun story.
My heart. That's
We
incredible.
should try that around here.
I know, really.
I think she did a lovely job matchmaking.
I know. Now I'm invested. I need to know more.
I want Brianna and Evan to go out on a date. I want to know what happens next.
Exactly.
I'm going to talk to producers. We're going to make a whole series out of this.
Absolutely. We're going to do some research during the break, but stick with us. Time now, 7:55. We'll be right back after this.
It's Thursday, February 5th. Today on Your Morning Atlantic, fire has been reported at the historic Halifax Armoury on North Park Street, closing some streets during the early morning commute. Your top news headlines just ahead. Hey, good morning, Atlantic Canada. Just about to turn 8 o'clock on your Thursday morning, and we're so happy that you can join us. It was so nice, that segment with Feeling the Love. I have to admit, I was looking at some of those purses during the commercial break a little closer.
Oh, you did?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'll need more.
As soon as she said the last word of her report that she was doing, you could hear the little footsteps. She ran over. She was immediately at the counter with the purses.
I believe
clip,
it.
clop.
Yeah.
Which was your favorite that they brought in? And there's a lot more than what they showed on the table.
Oh my gosh, it's hard, but I really like that bright yellow one. That's that Kate Spade.
Oh, Kate Spade. Okay.
Fun.
I enjoyed the Valentino. When I actually picked it up, the hardware was of an exquisite quality.
Oh yeah. I only go for the high end.
You would know because you have the yes. I've never actually handled anything
It's a
like
problem. But I try to find them very cheap at consignment stores.
Okay.
That's the secret.
You'll
Like
get
hospice.
even if you
Exactly.
participate in the auction, which opens up February 7th. So today's the 5th. 2 days from now, you can actually start to check out the handbags. You'll get a steal of a deal even if you're involved in the heated bidding.
Absolutely, and for a great cause as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to tell my husband that. It's for a good cause. I'm supporting them.
But it is, you actually get there's a tax receipt and all that because you are making a big donation. In any case, that's coming up. What are we looking at right now in weather? People need to dress to get out of the house, maybe with an exquisite bag.
Yeah, exactly. Protect your bags. We are going to see a colder start to the day yet again. Temperatures will rise. Not as warm as yesterday's daytime highs, but still not too bad. For this morning, as you can see, a bit of a foggy start to the day. We are going to see in Port de Grave a bit of sunshine, but also some flurry activity expected coming your way. As of right now, minus 14 degrees in Fredericton, minus 5 in Charlottetown, minus 6 degrees in Halifax, minus 4 starting off your day in Sydney, and minus 8 degrees in Gander, minus 23 in Cartwright. Over to the wind chill, as you can see here, it is colder this morning for many areas. There is a risk of frostbite for parts of Labrador. Temperatures will rise a little bit later on. In terms of the forecast for today, we are going to see sunshine for parts of the region, as well as increasing cloudiness and some flurry activity as well. In terms of the wind, it's going to be quite light, especially into our afternoon. As of right now, 28 kilometers per hour in Canso, 20 into Yarmouth, 17 in Moncton and Bathurst. One wind gust to notify you of, getting up to 28 kilometers per hour in Bathurst. We'll take another look at your forecast coming up, but first a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. We continue to follow developing news. Emergency crews on the scene of a fire at the historic Halifax Armoury. We have been following this story throughout the morning. Now the sun is up. This is a live look at the scene on North Park Street. As you can tell, there's no visible signs of flames or smoke, and we have seen this presence of emergency crews begin to slowly dwindle at the site. On scene this morning, Halifax Fire, Halifax Police, and the Department of National Defence Fire Department. This is important for drivers. Kennard Street between North Park Street and Maynard Street, it's blocked to traffic still. Power in the area has also been turned off. This is impacting about 2,000 Nova Scotia Power customers in the North End and downtown Halifax. Now, we have reached out to DND for more details. There's no word this hour on the extent of the fire or if anyone was hurt or how it started. The Halifax Armoury, it is classified as a federal heritage building. It was built in the 1800s, and as you can see by the scaffolding, it's been undergoing renovations since 2017. We'll continue to follow this developing story throughout the morning and on our website, ctvnewsatlantic.ca. Now, on the other side of the harbour, police are responding to a single vehicle crash in Burnside. Police say a vehicle hit and broke a power pole in the 600 block of Windmill Road. No word if anyone was hurt. Electrical wires are blocking inbound traffic on Windmill Road right between Wright Avenue and Dundee Lane. Police say to expect traffic restrictions for several hours. The woman who used to be in charge of the IWK Children's Hospital is now behind bars.
We're of the view that something of this seriousness with this degree of breach of trust requires no sentence less than a period of incarceration in a provincial institution.
Tracy Kitch was sentenced Wednesday to 9 months in jail for defrauding the IWK of more than $30,000 by using her corporate credit card to pay for personal expenses. The judge says Kitch's sentence should serve as a message to public officials that committing fraud will result in a jail cell door locking behind offenders. During a sentencing hearing earlier this month, Kitch admitted that she had failed to properly prioritize oversight of expense claims she filed with the IWK. Her conviction in September marked the second time she was convicted of defrauding the hospital, where she served as CEO between 2014 and 2017. A former mayor of Moncton has passed away. George LeBlanc built a law career before moving into municipal politics. He was a city councillor for many years before being elected mayor in 2008, a position he held for 8 years. He helped the city through the pain of the killing of 3 RCMP officers in 2014. In happier times, he oversaw construction of the Avenir Centre and the creation of the Order of Moncton Award. George LeBlanc passed away Tuesday at the Moncton Hospital following a long illness. He was 71 years old. Nova Scotia and Massachusetts are taking steps towards an offshore wind partnership. Premier Tim Houston was in Boston to sign an agreement that aims to boost clean energy development and to share it across the border. CTV's Jesse Thomas has more.
As energy demands grow and governments push to secure and meet clean energy targets, there's an opportunity for offshore wind development in Nova Scotia, and Massachusetts wants to be part of that and on the receiving end of that future clean energy development.
In fact, Nova Scotia only uses about 2 gigawatts of energy at peak demand, and in the Nova Scotia offshore, we can produce 40, 50, 60 gigawatts. It's remarkable. So we'll have a lot of excess energy.
Massachusetts Governor Maura Healey and Houston signed a memorandum of understanding to partner and cooperate on the development and delivery of wind power.
More supply means lower costs and more reliable energy for our region.
Houston says Nova Scotia's offshore conditions make it ideal for large-scale wind development.
Incredible wind speeds. The wind blows a lot. The water depths are good. We have all the conditions to create a lot of clean energy.
Healey says demand for wind energy is growing and offshore wind is reliable despite what some naysayers suggest.
Whatever actions may or may not be coming out of Washington, rest assured that here in Massachusetts, we're moving forward in any which way to bring more energy into this region.
Both Nova Scotia and the federal government are partnering to develop Wind West, a major offshore wind project, which they say could supply a quarter of Canada's energy needs and potentially feed energy into parts of New England. Jesse Thomas, CTV News, Halifax.
Thank you, Jesse, for that report. And coming up, I'll have your last look at your national and international news headlines.
Wonderful. All right, thanks, Amanda.
You're welcome.
Let's talk about millions and millions of crawling baby crabs. Okay. It's a good story, though. They're blanketing Christmas Island as part of a twice-a-decade event. There they are. They're teeny weeny. Now, most years, few or even no crabs survive the crossing after coming out of the ocean. This year, people on the island say it's basically the opposite, with an impressive amount of them to be seen. They'll now live in the jungle areas of the island for the first few years of their lives, so they have to cross kind of a big area to get to the jungle, you know, from the ocean.
They're like
Mother Nature didn't really think this out. Yeah, that's what they look like when they're so tiny. And it almost reminds me, we had the people from the organization that does the underwater exploration on our show that takes the underwater pictures. Remember how see-through the baby lobsters were? Yeah, sea paws. Yeah, that reminds me of this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Just look like their eyeballs are bigger than their heads.
Oh, yeah, for real. For sure. If they crawled on you, they wouldn't be able to nip or anything. I just thought this was so neat. Yeah.
Well, we'll see what they look like after a couple of years in the jungle.
Oh, they're big.
In the jungle. Maybe a little bit rough.
They say, welcome to the jungle.
Yeah. I mean, like, I do not want to be a part of this jungle. There are a lot of crabs.
Enter in Marv's scream.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, still ahead a little bit later, we're going to look at the benefits of lifting heavier weights, especially for women as they age. And after the break, too, another look at the full forecast. Good morning to our viewers in the Hub City. Nice calm conditions this morning. It's going to get really cold tonight, though. The forecast is up next.
Welcome back. The time now is 8:11. We're taking a live look at Yarmouth, -3 degrees starting off your day and expecting a chance of some isolated flurries. Weather is brought to you by ALC.ca. Not too bad starting off the day for parts of the region, a bit cooler for other areas. Just something to keep in mind when you are heading out early this morning. And then factor in that wind chill. Going to feel a lot colder starting off your day. -13 degrees right now in Fredericton, -5 in Charlottetown and in Halifax, -4 over in Sydney, -15 degrees starting off your day in Happy Valley, Goose Bay, -8 in Gander. Over to our forecast timeline, we are seeing a bit of sunshine starting off the day for parts of the region. For the most part, seeing increasing cloudiness now and a chance of flurry activity across the region. That will carry into the afternoon. Temperatures for our daytime highs not as warm as we saw yesterday. Starting to see that air cool down across the region. Into tonight, temperatures will really begin to drop down, quite cold for parts of Atlantic Canada. Still seeing flurry activity as we enter in early Friday morning. We'll start to see that clear out a bit more. If you're wondering about our snowfall totals, at around 1 to 5 centimeters of accumulation for parts of all 3 maritime provinces, also seeing around 1 to 5 right across Newfoundland. So sunshine does start off the day for New Brunswick, increasing cloudiness with isolated flurries starting into the afternoon. Temperatures between -9 to -3 degrees and pretty light wind right across the province, looking around out of the northwest, 20 gusting to 40. For Prince Edward Island, looking at highs between -6 to -3 degrees. We do have a low chance of flurries expected throughout your day today right across the island. For Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, also going to see highs between -3 to -1 and looking at around a 30% chance of flurry activity. So it's going to be quite low and spotty in its activity. For the rest of Nova Scotia, same thing. Starting off the day with flurries, but will clear into the afternoon, leaving mainly cloudy skies. Daytime highs between -3 to +1. And then for Labrador City, also seeing a chance of flurries throughout your day today with a high of -14 degrees. -1 into St. John's, Newfoundland, looking at a chance of flurries into the evening. And starting off the day with sunshine, but we'll see increasing cloudiness into the afternoon. Friday's forecast, when that polar air starts to move through the region, temperatures are cooling down. We are going to see lots of sunshine, not really helping to warm things up much. And we do have a bit of flurry activity that will track across parts of the region. Saturday's forecast, cold again. We are going to see increasing cloudiness for much of Atlantic Canada, and it's starting to see flurry activity as well later into the morning. So that's a look at your weather forecast. We'll throw things over to Amanda for your national and international news headlines.
Thanks, Latavia. The future of a young Canadian hockey player is on the line after court documents allege he was involved in a possible assault incident over the weekend in the U.S. Saturday, 18-year-old forward Gavin McKenna was playing for Penn State in an outdoor game. Police say McKenna faces felony charges after allegedly assaulting a man, leaving him with a broken jaw. In a statement, the university said they're aware charges have been filed, but as this is an ongoing legal matter, they're not commenting further. McKenna was a star on Team Canada's World Junior team and is projected to go first overall in the coming 2026 NHL entry draft in June. Now to a new travel warning for Canadians traveling to Cuba. CTV's Adrian Gabriel tells us what it is and what tourists are saying about it.
A hotbed for Canadian tourists for its warm waters, sandy shores, and rich culture. And now a heightened travel advisory has been issued for Cuba. Posted today, this notice is urging Canadians to exercise a high degree of caution in Cuba due to worsening shortages of electricity, fuel, and basic necessities, including food, water, and medicine, adding that the situation is unpredictable and could deteriorate, disrupting flight availability on short notice.
All the power gets knocked out and the cell phone coverage gets knocked out.
To reduce pressure on the country's electrical network, Cuba has been scheduling lengthy daily power cuts, though Ottawa says unexpected nationwide outages may last more than 24 hours. Between April 2023 and March 2024, roughly 700,000 Canadians traveled to Cuba, making it the country's fifth most popular travel destination. Canadians on the island should heed this advice, according to one tourism management professor.
Take an actual paper copy of your passport, because if you run out of power, your phone may not work to show the picture of it. Bring along any extra medication. Once again, with your travel insurance, make sure what the cancellation policies actually are.
Cuba is largely a cash-only island. The American dollar and euro are widely accepted, though the advisory warns of petty theft and to avoid showing large amounts of cash in public.
For Canadians in Cuba or those with plans to still travel there, you're being advised to go online and sign up with registration for Canadians abroad. It may also be a good idea to keep the phone number for the embassy in Havana on hand.
CTV's Adrian Gabriel reporting in Toronto. A quick break here on Your Morning Atlantic. When we return, we're talking about the importance of lifting heavy weights, especially for women as they age. That's coming up next.
Move Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Weekday mornings on Move 100. The most fun in the morning. And home of the $1,000 minute. Only on Move 100 Halifax.
Welcome back. It's 8:19. Now, you may know this. One of the best things you can do for your physical fitness as you age is lift weights. But what you may not know is how heavy those weights can be. Personal trainer Catherine Taylor explains.
Hi, I'm Catherine Taylor. I'm here at North Endurance in Halifax, and I'm a personal trainer. Today I'm here to talk to you about how important it is for women to get into weightlifting, especially heavy lifts. So many benefits for women lifting heavy weights. First off is just straight up bone density and being able to avoid things like osteoporosis and arthritis and just manage those conditions if they're already starting to set in, as well as it helps balance hormones as we age and enter menopause, and it also just makes you feel very powerful and good Some myths that are very prevalent about women in lifting is that you look at a weight wrong and all of a sudden you're the Hulk. And that's just not true. If you are lifting weights and doing it intentionally, and that's something that you want to look like, great, fantastic, but it doesn't happen by accident. Everybody should be able to lift heavy. Lifting weights will not make you bulky just by virtue of looking at a weight, and nor will it injure you if you're doing it with proper form. And sometimes that means you need an extra set of eyes to look at you while you're doing it. So where I would start someone who's never lifted before, isn't looking to join a gym and just wants to get a little bit fitter for their everyday life, would be find some heavier objects around your home that you maybe currently struggle to lift a little bit, and you can practice with those, whether that's a backpack filled with books or a canister of laundry detergent, something that has a little bit of weight to it that you can practice picking up off the ground or squatting with or pressing with. And you can look up all kinds of amazing tutorials for lifts on YouTube and the internet. So really, as long as we're keeping our muscles engaged and we're doing it with some intention, then you really can't go wrong, even if you do want to buy your own weights and bring them home or get a gym membership. So much of lifting heavy is more mental than physical. I will say, if you think you can't do it, you need to tell yourself that you can do it at least 3 times in your head, and chances are, by the time you approach that barbell or that dumbbell or whatever object you're trying to lift, you will get it lifted. Telling yourself that you can do something is so powerful. Even if you don't fully believe it, just saying the words out loud and putting it there, or saying it in your head, is so much of the equation. There's learning the form and learning the technique. You can learn technique and form all day long with, a broomstick or a band or something that is super duper light, but it is walking up to that object and saying, I don't know if I can do this, but I think I can. That's where the magic happens. Just go and do it. Give it a try. Find yourself at that dumbbell rack, put yourself in the weight situation, and maybe that's 5 pounds heavier than what you did last time. Maybe it's 2 pounds heavier. Doesn't matter. Whatever movement challenges you, or that you really like, that you think, okay, I'm quite confident with this, maybe I can add a little bit more weight to that this week. Great. And then when you get confident with that weight, jump up another 5 pounds. And that motivation can really just come from knowing that you did it and you were fine afterwards. And that sense of accomplishment will go a long way. Even if it doesn't go completely 100% right the first time, just knowing that you can try something new and have fun with it is going to get you a long way when you're trying to lift.
Kaiser's Sub and Sandwich Shop in Lower Sackville, Nova Scotia opened way back in 1976 and is a favorite in the community for its fresh food and friendly service.
CTV's Mike Lamb gives us a tour of the tiny takeout as they approach a big milestone.
We're at Kaiser Subs. Very fortunately, we're going to be celebrating our 50th anniversary next Thursday. It started in '76. It was a growing community. There were 5 places to eat. We were the 5th when the store was opened up. My wife, of course, helped out a small business that the whole family pitches in. Both daughters. It's a great community to live in, for one thing, and also to do business in.
Thank you. We're very, very tiny. It's like 500 and something square feet, but we maneuver around. We call it the Kaiser Shuffle. So we've all learned to kind of maneuver in the space. The cold cut is the most popular and I guess what we're known for, but we have lots of other options. We slice all of our meats here and also our veggies veggies every day. We like to make it as fresh as possible.
They're the best. Everything is fresh.
I just like the freshness and the different variety.
The customers are great, and we love hearing stories from them. I often hear stories about how they've been coming since they were little kids, or they were the first customers here in the 70s.
Shelley.
So it's that kind of stories that kind of keep us motivated and keep going.
I just kind of really get overwhelmed with how fortunate we've been to be standing here 50 years later. It's just, I'm really, really thankful for it. It's been wonderful.
Wishing Kaisers a very happy anniversary. It is actually today. All right, now we're going to take a look at our 3-day forecast. New Brunswick, a high of -6 degrees today, starting off the day with sunshine, seeing isolated flurries into the afternoon. Friday, a high of -8, lots of sunshine across the province, and a cloudy day ahead on Saturday with a high of -6, flurries into the evening. For Nova Scotia, looking at some flurry activity as well, a high of -2 degrees, evening flurries expected as well. Friday, -5 degrees, mainly sunny skies with isolated flurries for parts of the province. Saturday, a cloudy day with evening flurries. For Prince Edward Island, also seeing flurry activity today with a high of -3, -6 degrees on Friday, lots of sunshine. And then on Saturday, cloudy skies with a high of -3.
Still ahead, win or lose, this pizza delivers. Our partner Greco Pizza is in our YMA kitchen with more delicious snacks than touchdowns. There's Super Bowl details and deals later this half hour on Your Morning Atlantic.
Good morning, Atlantic Canada. The time now is 8:30. Greco is the gift that keeps on giving.
I love Greco.
Oh, yeah.
I love
Great
Greco.
pizza.
I love Greco. Earlier in the show, we talked about the Windsor pizza, and I actually will tell you, the Greco makes a pizza with little cups of pepperoni on it, and I would say it's as close as you can get to the Windsor pizza experience in the Maritimes, and it's delicious. Get the extra pepperoni if you order it. Just go crazy.
And we got a contest too, and a Super Bowl deal, because Super Bowl Sunday will be here before you know it.
Oh, wow, yeah. Totally forgot.
Yeah.
Warm up with some hot food.
I'm excited to see what Greco brings in. They have like a little kind of like East Coast kitchen party package that you just order that and like you're done. The party begins.
And you want some nice, oh, sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I'm just very excited about the snacks for Super Bowl.
I was going to just say, you just want some warm food when it's going to get cold this weekend.
Yeah, exactly. We are looking at a cool down Friday into Saturday and Sunday because of that polar air moving through the region. So it is cold early this morning. Temperatures will rise a little bit later on. As of right now, it is -13 degrees over in McAdam. You can see a cloudy day ahead. Into the afternoon, we are expecting a low chance of some flurry activity really across much of the region today. As of right now, it is -5 degrees in Charlottetown and in Halifax, -4 in Sydney, -22 in Cartwright, -8 in Gander. Factor in that wind chill. Going to feel a lot colder for many areas across the region. There is a risk of frostbite for parts of Labrador this morning. In terms of the satellite and radar, we are seeing sunshine early this morning for parts of the region, others a bit more on the cloudy side of things. We are also seeing flurries track across parts of Atlantic Canada today. In terms of the wind, quite light for the Maritimes. Right now, 30 kilometers per hour in Canso, 19 in Moncton, 17 in North Cape. No wind gusts to report at this time. We'll take one last look at your forecast coming up, and then one last look at your local news right now with Amanda.
Thank you so much, Latavia. And we begin with developing news. Emergency crews starting to leave the scene after responding to a fire at the historic Halifax Armoury. Here's a live look at the scene on North Park Street. Fewer emergency vehicles at this time. Throughout the morning, we've been bringing you live shots from the location, and we could not see any visible flames or smoke from the area. We do know that Halifax Police, Halifax Regional Fire, and D&D's fire department all responded. Kennard Street between North Park Street and Maynard Street is still blocked to all traffic. That continues, and power in the area still turned off. That impacts about 2,000 Nova Scotia Power customers in the North End and downtown Halifax. No word this hour on the extent of the fire, if anyone was hurt, if there's any damage. CTV News has reached out to DND for more information. The Halifax Armoury is a federal heritage building built in the 1800s and has been undergoing renovations since 2017. You can find the latest on this story on our website, ctvnewsatlantic.ca. The woman who used to be in charge of the IWK Children's Hospital is now behind bars.
We're of the view that something of this seriousness with this degree of breach of trust requires no sentence less than a period of incarceration in a provincial institution.
Tracy Kitch was sentenced Wednesday to 9 months in jail for defrauding the IWK of more than $30,000 by using her corporate credit card to pay for personal expenses. The judge says Kitch's sentence should serve as a message to public officials that committing fraud will result in a jail cell door locking behind offenders. During a sentencing hearing earlier this month, Kitch admitted that she had failed to properly prioritize oversight of expense claims she filed with the IWK. Her conviction in September marked the second time she was convicted of defrauding the hospital, where she served as CEO between 2014 and 2017. Health officials in New Brunswick are advising the public about a confirmed case of hepatitis A at the Algonquin Resort in St. Andrews. An advisory says people who consumed food at Braxton's Restaurant and Bar or Right Whale Pub on January 21st, 22nd, 24th, and 25th should contact their local public health office to help assess their risk of exposure and the potential need for a vaccine. They're urging exposed individuals who haven't had a Hep A shot to get one to limit the spread. Competition is underway at the 2026 Winter Olympics with official opening ceremonies beginning tomorrow. Now, earlier this morning, the Canadian Olympic Committee gave their opening press conference to media. For more on this, we bring in CTV's Scott Hurst. So, Scott, the COC held a presser outlining their goals for these games. So what were the main takeaways?
Good morning, Amanda. Always lots of excitement and anticipation at these opening press conferences. Looking forward to the next 17 days ahead, including more than half a dozen Atlantic athletes to watch out for. And we'll go into more detail on that in just a moment. But one of the key takeaways from this opening press conference is actually an injury update for a medal hopeful, Mark McMorris, who crashed yesterday in a big air training run. And he was stretchered off the slopes, taken to hospital. He has since been released from hospital, is back in the village, and an assessment and a final determination will be made later today on whether he will actually take part in the snowboard big air qualification. But overall, lots of excitement, lots of anticipation of this team as we look forward to the opening ceremonies tomorrow. And we'll see our flag bearers, Mikkel Kingsbury and Marielle Thompson.
And what does this Team Canada look like for the Winter Olympics? Who makes up the teams?
Let's take a look at a map at where all these athletes come from. I highlighted the fact that there are more than half a dozen athletes from Atlantic Canada, 7 officially, according to the Canadian Olympic Committee, but also, let's not forget, PEI raised Brett Gallant, who is competing for, out of Alberta alongside his wife in mixed doubles curling. And they've already got their competition underway, winning yesterday 10-5 over Team Czechia. So overall, here's where Team Canada comes from. 8 provinces, 1 territory. There are more than 206 Team Canada athletes, 109 first-time Olympians, in fact. There are 47 Olympic medalists who are part of this team. Also, we should highlight 4 sets of siblings playing alongside their brother or sister, and 3 athletes now competing in their 5th Olympic Games, including Marie-Philippe Poulin, Mackenzie Boyd-Klaus, and Valerie Malte. If we should highlight the Atlantic athletes once again, I mentioned, let's not forget, Brett Gallant, the PEI raised athlete who's already got his Olympic experience this year underway. But of course, I should state the obvious. There are names like Sidney Crosby, Nathan McKinnon, Brad Marchand, once again going back to the Olympics, including, let's not forget, Blair Turnbull for the women's hockey team as well.
I was going to say a lot of representation on the hockey teams for the men and women. Scott, thank you so much for breaking this down for us.
Thank you.
CTV Scott Hurst reporting live for us from our national newsroom in Toronto. Thank you so much, Scott. Now to a different kind of event. Finally, they're throwing around lucky beans in Japan. Winter. This is something that we can do around here, ladies. This festival in Japan marks the last day of winter on the lunar calendar. People show up at the temple where soybeans, rice cakes, and other snacks are thrown at them. At some temples, celebrity guests have the honor of throwing the snacks, and the ritual is said to bring good luck. It also just looks like fun.
Okay. If X equals Y, Y equals X, if we throw these lucky beans, winter will be over? Is that what we're saying?
Well, I mean,
give me a bag.
Exactly. Let's just get these beans moving.
Don't throw them in Italy, though. We need the snow for now.
Oh, my gosh, yes. All right, well, they have the Bean Festival in Japan. It's festive bun season in Copenhagen.
All right.
What a time. This week, runners took part of the sweetest half marathon ever called the Fastelavn Bun Run. Participants run from one bakery to another to determine who has the best buns. Kind you eat. At every stop, runners eat to get one version of get this, Fastelavns ball, which is a cream and jam-filled pastry which is catching on in popularity outside Denmark. So all you Danes out there, I'm so sorry, I'm probably pronouncing that horribly, but sign me up.
We need some carbs. Those taste better than gels.
Delicious, right? All creamy.
I wonder if their tummy starts to hurt after jogging to the last one.
Of course I dug into this, and it's more about just eating the buns. Well, like it's like nobody like is timed or anything like that.
Yeah, no one's like booking it to the next.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm like, move your buns. Unless you're like the one who's like, I have celiac. Where's the gluten-free bakery? You need to go there.
Oh my gosh, there's a great one in Peggy's Cove area, actually.
Okay, that is
exactly.
good to know.
Remember they were on our show. Wonderful stuff, but not in Copenhagen.
Do we have any bun runs happening around here?
Not that I know of. But we will take a look at what is happening in our region. Every year in February, the Shipagan, I believe that's how you pronounce it. Shipagan. Rats.
She's our New Brunswick pronouncing
honestly
guru here. We love it. All
right, well, I botched that. My apologies. They're celebrating the winter season by organizing a variety of activities for the whole family. The Ice Carnival will continue to run from now until Sunday, so you have some time. And the Tignish Winter to Spring Market will take place this upcoming Saturday, February 7th. You can enjoy a variety of vendors, handmade items, baked goods, clothing, vintage pieces, and so much more. Head over to their center from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., the Tignish Parish Center, and you can learn more if you head over to their Facebook event page. And a New Brunswick-born singer-songwriter, Matt Anderson, gets ready to take the stage tonight in Halifax. So Matt will perform his latest hits off his album, The Hammer and the Rose. The concert takes place tonight at the Lighthouse Arts Center at 8 p.m. For tickets, head over to their website.
He's so good.
Oh, yeah, so talented, beautiful voice. If you have an upcoming event, please send us the details. We'd love to promote it. Your Morning Atlantic at ctv.ca.
All right, coming up next, no halftime show can top this spread. We're heading to the YMA kitchen for the real Super Bowl MVP, Greco Pizza. Stay with us. Your Morning Atlantic. We'll be right back with the delicious details.
Wow, wow, wow.
Welcome back. The time now is 8:43. We're taking a live look at Halifax, starting off at -5. You can see a bit of sunshine early this morning. Also expecting a chance of some isolated flurries, but quite low and spotty in its activity if it does occur. As of right now, it is -13 degrees in Fredericton, and -5 in Charlottetown, -4 early this morning in Sydney, -8 starting off your day in St. John's, Newfoundland. Now, we do have sunshine in parts of the region across Atlantic Canada today, but also seeing increasing cloudiness for much of the region and some flurry activity as well. It's going to be low and spotty in its activity, around a 30 to 40% chance of it happening, but will continue into the afternoon and into the evening as well. Temperatures are really going to begin to cool down for tonight and will carry into Friday's forecast as we do have polar air moving across the region. We are going to see sunshine return on Friday, but not really helping to warm things up and still holding on to flurry activity for parts of Atlantic Canada. If you're wondering about snowfall totals at around 1 to 5 centimeters for parts of all 3 maritime provinces, also seeing 1 to 5 centimeters of accumulation across much of Newfoundland. For our forecast today for New Brunswick, starting off the day with sunshine, isolated flurries expected into the afternoon with daytime highs between -9 to -3. Prince Edward Island seeing few flurries throughout the day today with highs between -6 to -3. For Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, exactly the same. We're expecting a low chance of flurry activity with daytime highs ranging from -3 to -1. For the rest of Nova Scotia, Also starting off the day with a chance of flurries, clearing out, leaving mainly cloudy skies into the afternoon with highs between -3 to +1. For Labrador City today, looking at a chance of flurries as well, a high of -14 degrees. Sunshine starting off the day for St. John's, Newfoundland, and then increasing cloudiness, flurries into the evening with a high of -1. Friday's forecast, much colder than today. We are going to see sunshine across parts of Atlantic Canada. Also seeing a cloudier day ahead for parts of the region. We do have the return of some flurry activity, especially into Saturday's forecast, and a very cloudy day ahead. The temperature is going to remain cold into the weekend as well. That's a look at your weather forecast. We'll throw things over to Crystal.
Oh my God, so Tavia, I thought you'd never get here. It's 8:45, so excited. The Super Bowl Sunday is almost here, and for the big game, you need a big game meal and a deal. So from pizza to wings to donair dippers and more, Greco Pizza never fumbles. Joining us with more is our partner, Michelle Parker, the district manager for Greco Pizza. Michelle, thank you for coming in again.
Thank you for having me.
We love you around here. You've made me a huge Greco Pizza fan.
It's just because I bring snacks.
Well, you bring snacks. The first one's free, and then I'm like, oh, I got to go get more and more and more.
Right.
You brought new stuff for us today. Let's begin with this exciting new deal.
Okay, so we have our big game deal here. This is available for Super Bowl weekend only. Yep, limited time. So it's a large 3-topping pizza, whatever toppings you want.
Okay.
Medium garlic fingers. And 15 of our wonderful chicken wings.
That's all you need for the party.
It really is. You will be MVP of the Super Bowl party if you show up with us.
You definitely will. Okay, that's absolutely fantastic. I understand Super Bowl is a very busy time of year for Greco.
It really, really is.
Okay, so get your orders in early.
Lots and lots of deliveries, so be prepared for that. And yeah, you can actually order in advance online and have it scheduled. So you don't have to like stop what you're doing, stop entertaining your guests, or miss a play. Okay. You can order in advance.
Pre-order, I love that. Okay, you have put together, you got the special day for Super Bowl weekend. I understand we're also launching a contest today.
We are. So if you order this game day deal through the CTV link, you will actually get entered to win a 65-inch TV.
Okay, amazing. I've got the details in detail coming up shortly. But yeah, the big game giveaway. Do you want me to run through that now, control room? Yeah, let's do it. Okay, the big game giveaway. So you enter for the chance to win the Hisense 65-inch TV. It's only a 2-day contest, so don't wait. 2-day contest. Don't wait to enter. Just head over to our website at ctvatlantic.ca, and the contest closes Monday morning at 6. Fantastic. This is really exciting day.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so the contest is very exciting. That's an exclusive for Your Morning. But this is an exclusive for Your Morning, too. A very sneak peek.
I had to sneak this out.
Oh, I love that.
Yes.
What is this?
So these are our new pastas.
Wow.
They are coming soon in March. We release them. And I wanted to bring them to you guys today because we know you're fans and we want your feedback. So we have the creamy chicken Alfredo pasta.
Yep.
And then we have our meatball marinara pasta.
Okay, I'm going to just try one.
Yeah, you get right in there.
Feedback. That, okay, cheesy and wonderful.
Right.
Definitely full points on presentation and texture. Oh my gosh, that's great.
Isn't that good? I know. I'm so excited about it.
Of course I took a giant bite. Okay, I'm going to try the next one. Tell us what else you brought while I do that.
Okay, so if pizza, if you're worried that other people are bringing pizza, garlic fingers, wings, those are kind of Super Bowl staples. We have so many other things that, you could bring to the party, order for your party. We have our matzo sticks, which are one of my personal favorites. Our donair dippers, which are Crystal's personal favorite.
They really are.
I can't show up here without them, guys.
Thank you.
I brought some more chicken wings because, it is Super Bowl if you have wings.
Yeah, these are really, but very meaty wings.
Yeah.
They're good wings.
We take a lot of pride in our wings.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And these are our pretzel bites.
Oh my gosh.
Perfect for sharing little snacks. I brought an assortment of the different sauces that we have available. My favorite, cheddar chipotle. It is so good.
Well, shout out to you and all your people at the Greco Test Kitchen because you are just doing such a great job.
Thanks. We have a lot of fun doing it. So
I wanted to give you your time, but this is really, really good. There's extra kind of almost like a pesto thing happening in here. This one's they're both delicious, but this one is my super favorite.
That one's the best.
Okay,
I agree.
yeah.
And the teeny tiny little meatballs, I love them.
Yeah, but my daughter would want the Alfredo, so it's totally your taste.
A little bit of something for everyone.
You said this is your super favorite. I'm going to try this.
It really is. It really is.
Yeah, so I'm just going to ask the control room how we're doing for time and where we're going next. Oh, we got 45 seconds. Oh my gosh, Michael, hooroo. What else do you want to talk about?
Oh my goodness, I could talk for days. Aren't those great?
Yep.
Yeah. So we also another little secret coming up is we have a new pizza sauce coming.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone knows and loves our Greco signature pizza sauce. It's a little sweet. It tastes like Greco pizza. However, just to give a little variety now, we're going to throw in a brand new option for you, a classic marinara, so you get your choice of different sauces, and you can really please every palate that way.
Michelle, I ate the whole bunch of it. What I will say about Greco, you really don't skimp on the ingredients. Like, that's a giant piece of
I know, it's huge, right?
Yeah.
It's huge.
Thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you so much for having me.
And remember, you go to our website for the contest, get all those details, and you can get the details about this special, which is fantastic. And for this weekend only, and we have the information on our website for everything. It's 8:50. We're going to take one short break and be back to wrap up the show right after this.
The #1 morning show in Halifax. Turk, Megan, and Amateur Alex. And home to the biggest artists. Halifax's #1 hit music station. 101.3 Virgin Radio.
Welcome back. I had to sneak a donair bite in quickly.
Okay, the mozzarella sticks, Michelle said have one. They're her favorite. It's like a lot of mozzarella. Oh, yeah. No, it's delicious. And that new pasta, I can't wait for March because the red one was my super favorite, but they're both delicious.
Amazing. Well, I know what we're going to be doing at 9:01.
Right?
Oh, yeah, we're going to be eating
back
that
into the kitchen.
Ordering it on the weekend, too, because it is so like
so good.
Yeah.
Super Bowl weekend is here.
Yep.
So we want to bring you the text to remove morning chat, and there's only one theme here. We were talking about one activity you want to do, and y'all are wild.
Oh.
Now, I didn't get the person's name, the viewer's name, but they texted us and said, I'd love to skydive.
Okay.
Right? Talk about doing an activity that's new to you, and they weren't alone. Nancy from Paradise also said the same thing. She said, one thing I've always wanted to try would be skydiving. My friend and I would take a picnic lunch to Cambridge Airport, closed in 2016, and watch those maniacs take the dive and land right next to us. She said the view in the Annapolis Valley, Nova Scotia, just amazing from up there. You can see the Bay of Fundy, apple orchards and forests, etc. And then she goes on to say there was a lot of hooting and hollering all the way down from participants as they were so free and happy, such fun. Unfortunately, I'm not brave enough for that, even though it's all perfectly safe. I don't know, Nancy. You might have to do it.
Yeah, you should do it. I've done it. It's super scary at the beginning, and then it's beautiful and lovely.
Like when you do the drop?
The drop is really scary, but worth it for the beautiful views. It's gentle. After the drop, it's gentle, gentle, gentle.
I could never. Unless I was like on my deathbed, then I'd be like, okay, push me out, whatever.
Push me out.
Well, I've noticed mostly in Nova Scotia, it's tandem, so someone's holding you that's experienced.
But it's the free falling.
I was
the initial.
Yeah. My thing was static line, so it was all by myself, and then it opened up by itself, and then if it didn't open, it would be up to me to pull the ripcord. I was so freaked out. There's no way I would have been able to find the ripcord. I would have just dropped like a rock. But it all went well. It all went well. It was very scary when I was falling.
For doing it.
I would never do it again. No, but you know what? You should try it.
Wow, I love it for you.
Yeah, I was also like 20. I probably wouldn't do it now that I have kids and stuff like that.
I feel like it's very dramatic to pull the cord, and you're just like.
It would be if you knew what you're doing. Absolutely, if you're military trained, that would be awesome.
It would be if it didn't open.
Wait, if it didn't open?
And backups. Like, Nancy's right, it's safe. Yeah. But it's funny that both people wanted to skydive.
That's awesome. Living on the edge.
My grandma Pam, shout out to Grandma Pam, when she was 80, she went skydiving.
Good on her.
And she is like this little British woman who likes her creature comforts, right? She loves her cup of tea. She does not do wild things. And she jumped out of an airplane. Wow. I can't believe she did it.
As far as activities go, I will tell you two things I like to do. A, ride in the big rig, one of those big diesel, like semi-trucks, and also experience first class where you get to sleep on the bed. Those are the two things. Yeah.
Ooh. That's my kind of thrill.
Well, that's our show today. Join us tomorrow. Lots of content ahead of Super Bowl Sunday. Have a great Thursday. We'll see you tomorrow.